have been playing a Shriners All-Star football game in the state of Illinois for 4 decades, and tonight the 40th annual Shriners All-Star game set to kick off here at Tucci Stadium on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University. Hi everybody, and welcome to the 2014 Shriners All-Star Game. Alongside Donnie Tillman, I'm Kurt Pegler. Glad you're alongside. 88 of the top high school football players in the state are here tonight. What an honor for them to be considered Shriners All-Stars.
You know what, it's amazing. The fact that they've worked so hard just to get here on the field, throughout their high school careers, and then to be nominated by their coaches to play in this game, truly a remarkable experience for these players, and they wrap it up with this wonderful football game tonight.
A last hurrah for these guys, many of whom are heading off to college just in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned, it's East versus West, the Shriners All-Star Game from Illinois Wesleyan University here on MC 22.
Brendan and I have a lot in common. We love racing and we like to go fast. But Brendan and I have more than just our sport in common. We are both Shriners Hospitals for Children's biggest fans.
Shriners Hospitals for Children helped me get back on the track.
Brendan had an accident when he was 7, but thanks to the care at Shriners Hospitals, he is back in the race.
Shriners Hospitals for Children brings love to the rescue to children regardless of the family's ability to pay. Visit shrinershospitalsforchildren.org.
All-Star football game in the state of Illinois. This game benefits the Shriners Hospitals for Children. They're changing lives every day through innovative pediatric specialty care, world-class research, and outstanding medical education. 22 locations in the United States, Canada, and Mexico providing advanced care for children with orthopedic conditions, burns, spinal cord injuries, and cleft lip and palate, regardless of a family's ability to play. 88 of the top high school football players in the state playing. It's East against West. East is in red, West is in blue. East kicking to West. The ball is out of bounds off the kick. And we'll see where they mark that. And we are underway here at the Shriners game. Kurt Pegler alongside Donnie Tillman here at Illinois Wesleyan. We thought we might run into some rain, but so far so good. A nice night for football.
You know what? Mother Nature has really cooperated as far as keeping the rain showers away. A little humid, a little toasty outside, but I tell you what, these players are excited to get out there on the field and really showcase what they can do. And one of the things the players talked about during the week as we led up to this game, Kurt, is a lot of these players come from smaller schools, Class 1A, 2A, 3A. Well, now they want to see where they measure with some of the big boys from the Chicagoland area. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these players get out on the field and see what they can do against some of the upperclassmen, so to speak.
One of those small school standouts from Lewistown High School, Colton Johnson, the quarterback for the West, to start this game. He's number 9 out of the shotgun. And they're going to do a flea flicker on the first play and throw downfield, and it is tipped and nearly caught off the reception, and maybe they do say it's complete. It is a tipped pass completion. How do you like that to start the game?
I tell you what, if you really want to get the fans fired up and into it, that's the way to do it. A little flea flicker. The ball is deflected up in the air, and you are still able to make the catch. Check this out again on the replay. I mean, that's timing, that's practice, and you know what? Maybe not the ending of the execution you wanted, but I'll tell you what, it's still a first down for Blue.
So a big play on the first play from scrimmage. And the West team, coached by Rick Little of Quincy, knocking on the door already inside the 25-yard line. There's your inside handoff. It goes to Keyshawn Young. He's from Alton High School, 5'10", 170. Little scat back down there for minimal gain.
I tell you what, Keyshawn, he's had a remarkable career at Alton. Actually transferred from Alton Marquette to Alton Senior High School to play football. And I tell you what, he's been a dual threat down south. A lot of people know his name, and he's really excited about this game today.
Looks like Greg White of Limestone High School. A little shaken up on that play. He's going to need a little assistance to come to the near sidelines.
And in this heat, that's one of the things you have to be concerned with as well, Kurt. And one thing the blue team has over the red team is they have a few more bodies out there, so they might be able to get some guys out there, keep them fresh, as opposed to the red team who is climbing up a hill, so to speak, with lower numbers.
Interstate 55 kind of serving as the dividing point for this game, separating the East from the West. Again, the West in the blue jerseys, coached by Rick Little of Quincy. The red jerseys, East squad, coached by Matt Martin of Edwardsville. So it's second down and 8 after that 2-yard pickup from Keyshawn Young. Johnson's going to pass. No, he's going to tuck it under, and he's going to scramble. And he's going to march inside the 15. And so that's going to bring up a third down.
I tell you what, credit the red team there on that play. They went with a little cover 2 right there, 3 on the front line, 4 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. And you know what? He really didn't have an option out there, so Johnson had to use his feet to try and get what he could.
Austin Wealth of nearby Bloomington High School credited for the tackle of Johnson. Again, it's 3rd and 1 and stopped in the backfield this time. No penetration at all. Young is stopped for a loss. Good penetration by the East defense.
That's right. The East really showing what they can do after giving up that huge play early on the first play of the game. They're able to come back and be very stout in keeping the blue team from moving the ball. And now it's that decision. It's 4th down. What do? Do you go for it or do you go for 3?
Well, I think our answer is they're going for it on 4th and 4 because the offense has stayed on the field. So here we go. Early gamble for the blue team.
It's an all-star game, right? You got to go for the big score.
So out of the gun, Johnson. And he's going to go down. Did he throw it away? He did get it away, but big-time pressure put on there. John Timmerman of Breeze Central of the East was in there. He impressed the coaching staff all week long in practice, and he comes up with a big play, hurried that pass, and so they'll take over on downs.
And the thing about that play is the blue went 5 wide on that, so the red team, all they had to do was bring basic pressure there, and they were able to get to the quarterback, cause the errant throw, and it's turnover on downs.
Big play for Timmerman, and so we'll see East now with the football for the first time. And Alex Corey, the graduate of Maine East High School, is going to be the starting quarterback, and that is an interesting story. He's really the 3rd string quarterback on this roster, but starting tonight because of an injury to Jake Romani of Bloomington and also to Jared Pilson of Mattoon High School, who opted not to come. So suddenly they were without a quarterback, and in comes Maine East's Alex Corey.
Yeah, very interesting story. You know, the fact that he really hasn't thrown the ball in quite some time. So to come in an all-star game against some of the top talent in the state and, you know, be counted upon to move the offense, a pretty big task put on his shoulders. But I tell you what, when you get to this point, these guys are up to the challenge.
Damian Reed with the short run there from Anna Jonesboro. So that'll bring up 2nd and 8, and he's going to get the call again. He's spun in the backfield. He goes nowhere. Good penetration. That time by the West defense, namely Terry White of Riverdale comes in, makes that tackle.
Damian Reed, as you mentioned, all-state honors in Class 3A. He's actually headed to McKendree College, and down there at AJ, he really did a lot of damage against opposing teams and keeping his ball club in high school very competitive and in postseason play.
So this brings up 3rd and long now, 3rd down and 8 for the East from inside their own 15.
They're going to go
Check
5
that
wide
20,
here.
yeah. Bobbled snap. That ball is thrown to the near sidelines, and it's complete. It's a catch well done. It's Mike Bray from Lakes High School who makes the catch on the near sideline. You got to credit Corey for kind of ad-libbing that play and hitting his receiver on a rollout.
And you know what? The timing there, it has to be perfect because if you look at the replay right here, he does not have a lot of time. You know, the line's coming through. They're breaking apart, and you know what? He's got to find a target. 41 finds a spot where he's open. You turn, you present yourself to the quarterback, and you pick up a 1st down just like that.
And a 1st down, the first of the game for the East squad. Matt Martin, again, the head coach from Edwardsville, kind of thrown under the gun here, having to move on the fly with a 3rd string quarterback, but so far so good for his team. And again, spinning it and getting a short gain is going to be Reed from Anna Jonesboro. He stayed on his feet and fought for some extra yards.
And one thing about Reed is that he was really a workhorse in high school, so he's used to getting the bulk of the carries. Now, I'm sure the red team is going to switch it out as this game progresses, but right now, really counted upon to keep the chains moving and keep his offense on the field.
So they'll say a gain of 7, 2nd and 3 now from the 43-yard line of the East. We're just underway in this 40th annual Illinois Shriners All-Star Game here at Illinois Wesleyan University. A little option play on the read option. That's not going to go a whole lot there as Damian Reed was stopped in the backfield. Good penetration there from the West defense. They snuffed that one out.
Tell you what, I think that was Casey Danley that was playing a little linebacker there, and he went on the blitz and really snuffed that play out, was able to cause a loss on that play.
It appears we've got a flag down, too.
That's going to benefit the red team.
A personal foul against the West squad, and they're going to march that down for a first down. So the second first down now for the East team, moving the football again under Alex Corey. You got to love the guttiness of Corey, who was injured in the season opener last year, tore his ACL and his MCL, delayed the surgery for a while, and it worked to his benefit because he was able to return in Week 9, the last game of the regular season, out of the shotgun, had almost no mobility. So we're seeing him as a quarterback with mobility really for the first time in a year.
That's, you know, just one of those remarkable things. You think of a quarterback like Byron Leftwich, who had a similar situation, couldn't move, but able to still move the ball down the field with his arm.
1st and 10, and for the first time, East now in West territory. Again, that play is strung out. So far, it's been Damian Reed, the workhorse there, for a small gain, if anything, if he got back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like perhaps he even lost a yard on that one.
Yeah, and the one thing about the blue defense is, you know, their front four is really holding the line and allowing those linebackers to fly to the ball and able to get pressure on the running backs before they can even break the line of scrimmage.
Bryson Eppinger of Warren Township High School in on that tackle. Indeed a loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 11 now for the East.
Blue team bringing everyone up to the line on this play.
Passing down, the ball is incomplete. Pass was intended for Ozzie Kent of Williamsville High School.
And interesting there by the West team, you saw they brought everyone up on the line. All 7 guys were either on the line or just off the line, but then when the ball was hiked, you saw 4 people drop back in coverage. So really, as we see early in this All-Star game, we're seeing some different defenses from the West All-Stars.
And both teams, because of some rule changes, there's no stunting and there's a limited number of men that you can rush the quarterback with. So you're going to be seeing some disguised defenses here throughout the course of the night. 3rd and 11 now. East with football at the West 47. Again, an option play. And again, going no place. Once again, the West defense snuffing that play out, and give credit to Ryan Dimmler from Peoria, Notre Dame, who makes the hit and the tackle.
And I tell you what, they were already in the backfield before the ball was even tossed. I mean, you look at the play here. I mean, look how many blue jerseys are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's hard to try and move the ball forward when you're staring at blue jerseys before you even get back to the line of scrimmage.
And so now we're going to see the punt unit on for the first time. Reed again for Anna Jonesboro, who's the workhorse on the offense, also back to kick. He kicks it away. This is Casey Danley from Washington back to receive, but the ball is out of bounds, and they'll spot it at the 25-yard line, and the West will have its second possession.
Not too shabby, though, by the East All-Stars. You know, they were able to move the ball a little bit down the field to get into West territory. We saw the West team on the first play of the game throw the flea flicker out there for a big gain. They weren't able to punch it in. So we're seeing some offense moving, but the defense has held serve so far in this contest.
You never really know what you're going to get in kind of these All-Star games. These teams were just put together. On Tuesday, they started practicing this week. They took a trip to the Shriners Hospital on Wednesday up in Chicago. So they've had limited time together in practices, but so far, so good. And we're going to see for the first time Billy Ritchie from Jersey High School now. He's going to quarterback for the West. Kind of in an alternate situation. That ball goes through his hands on the snap, and he's going to have to go back and jump out it inside the 10-yard line. He's going to be brought down for a major loss, and it's John Timmerman again. Deep penetration from Timmerman, who's having a whale of a first quarter, the graduate of Bree Central High School.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. When you get in there at your first snap, you know, you're really trying to get comfortable and into a game flow, so to speak, and you're moving backwards instead of forwards there. So now the blue team really pinned back deep into their own territory.
A 15-yard loss on the play, so it's 2nd and 30, and now Ritchie is standing at his end zone to take this snap. 2nd and 30. Ritchie to pass. It's going to be over the middle. It's caught for a gain across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. The reception made by Evan White of Rochelle High School.
And, you know, right there was a little quick slant, you know, just to kind of give yourself some breathing room. As you mentioned, Richie before was standing in his own end zone, but right there gives you a little bit of breathing room, and now it's, you know, third and a little bit more manageable, even though it's third and 22.
Third and 22. Still a long way to go. Richie out of the gun, looking downfield, throwing downfield's got a man downfield, but he just overthrew his intended receiver, White, who had a step or a step and a half on the defender, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, and at that point, you got to, you know, try to deep ball and see what you can get. Tell you what, not too bad right there. If he would have thrown it maybe on the inside shoulder, he might have had an opportunity. See on this replay here, you know, he's got room. Nice pocket. He throws the ball up in the air. Maybe if it's on the inside shoulder, his receiver doesn't have to turn and maybe break his stride. Unfortunately, it came on the outside shoulder. He had to kind of identify where the ball was at. That made him a step or two slower to get into that throw.
So now it's going to be Danley back to kick, and he kicks a low line drive that was out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So Danley, who is asked to not only play defense but to return punts and also to punt, with a short kick. And again, the East is going to have good field position here, as they will be inside West territory when they begin this possession.
Yeah, it was, what, 17 yards on that punt there. And, you know, one thing we have to talk about, Kurt, is that a lot of these players, even though they've been playing football for 4 years, they haven't maybe, you know, picked up a football in maybe the last 6 months. You know, after football season was over, some guys were wrestling, some guys were playing basketball. You had, you know, spring season. So a lot of these guys really haven't played football much in the recent months.
So the East in business, 1st and 10 inside the 30. Handoff to the near sidelines, and cutting towards us is Thomas Jones from Solorio High School in Chicago, where he played for Matt Lawson. His first run of the afternoon, the evening, is a gain, which puts the ball now inside the 25-yard line.
And a remarkable story about Thomas Jones. Really busted on the scene his junior year, as you see in the replay. Nice stiff arm right there to try and get away from the defender. He was all conference in the Chicago Public League, played basketball and track, so a 3-sport athlete out there.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Corey hands again on the inside handoff to that same man, Thomas Jones, and this time he's going to bust it through for a first down.
I'll tell you what, that's just moving in between the tackles and moving guys who are trying to get to you, and like you said, fighting for that first down. And, you know, throughout his high school career, especially, like I said, bursting on the scene his junior year, that's what he was known for doing, really moving the chains and picking up those big chunks of yards.
Good work by that East offensive line. Now inside the red zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the West 14. East knocking on the door here late in the opening quarter of this 40th Illinois Shriners All-Star game. Bobbled snap, and that's not going to go anywhere. Jones didn't get really a chance to get a clean handoff, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of 1.
And on that last play right there, the blue team had everyone in the box. Red had 3 wide receivers out wide. No one was covering them, because right now, you know, Red's moving the ball, you know, with draws and things like that. They're not even, you know, really tempting the blue team to throw the ball. So I think maybe if coach is watching that on the sidelines, maybe kind of do a little play action and see what's out there on the outside for his receivers.
2nd and 11 now from the West 15. Boy, going to try to pass, and he's going to go down. He is hit from behind and sacked.
And that's unfortunate there, because that time everyone was covered as far as all the wide receivers were concerned. And what you saw there was that line was not able to hold the defensive line off for very long. And before you know it, you know, they get to the quarterback, they get some pressure, and they get the sack. Check it out right here. Everyone's covered on this play. So coach read my mind. Unfortunately, it's a game of chess right now. And, you know, the West All-Stars also countering by making sure everyone was covered that ran out on wide receivers.
Galesburg's Matt Hawkins in for the sack and a big play, because it's now 3rd and 15. Interesting lineup here, and a direct snap that is going not far. Kyle Kirkpatrick, who's kind of the backup quarterback to Alex Corey, in on that one, so he carries it for a very short gain, and now it's going to be 4th down and 15.
And as you mentioned, a little wildcat there, just giving the West All-Stars something different to look at on offense there. And now what do? You try and go for 3, maybe get some points on the board? I mean, it's the 2nd time you've been in West territory.
And it looks like that's going to be the case. East is going to try to get some points on the board. Mike Bray is from Lakes High School, is going to try out and come out and attempt a field goal of about 25 yards. Check, that'll be 35 yards. Snap is good, hold is good. Bray's kick is
no good.
No good.
Just off to the left. So I tell you what, unfortunate for the East All-Stars, not able to come away with any points there. And again, we're seeing the defenses really dominate this game so far, hold and serve.
All right, so let's step away here. 1 minute to go here in this first quarter. No score in the East-West Shriners All-Star game here at Illinois Wesleyan. The West defense holds big time, and so they'll take over now at their own 20-yard line after the missed field goal attempt. A handoff for a short gain. That's going to be Malik Robbins, the star player for Quincy High School. What a senior year he had. He's playing, obviously, for his head coach, Rick Little of Quincy. Rick Little said, hey, one of the whole reasons why I'm here is because of this guy, Malik Robbins.
I tell you what, Malik Robbins, nominated player of the year in his area, did so much, and I'll have more on him in a little bit.
Gain of 2, it's 2nd and 8. Sorry about that, Donnie.
No problem.
Johnson with the screen pass, far sideline. That's going to be a gain of about 5. As it was Chandler Dobbs from South Beloit who made the catch. So Colton Johnson is back for this series on offense for the West squad.
One thing we're seeing out here so far, Kurt, is a lot of speed on defense on both sides. I mean, you're seeing these guys really get to the ball as soon as possible.
And that ends our first 15 minutes of action. First quarter in the books, an entertaining one, even though we've got no points on the score. The 40th annual Shriners All-Star Game is scoreless at the end of one quarter. Back with the second quarter action in a moment. You're watching the Shriners game here on MC 22.
This is Julian, one of the sweetest children you'll ever meet. Sadly, he was born with so many bones missing from both of his feet, he would not be able to stand. His family was faced with the agonizing decision of amputating his feet and giving him new feet so that he could walk, or confining him to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Julian's family found the answers, hope, and strength they needed to make the right decision at Shriners Hospitals for Children.
I remember telling her, they're not going to take his feet. They're going to give him the ability to walk.
That is what we usually
After several 7-hour surgeries and over a year of specialized care, Julian is thriving. Nothing holds him back. As he grows, Julian will get more sophisticated prosthetics and physical therapy until he's an adult.
Yeah.
Care like this doesn't come from an ordinary hospital. It comes from love and the generosity of the thousands of people who support Shriners Hospitals for Children. Your $19 monthly gift helps us improve the lives of over 120,000 families each year and provide some of the finest pediatric care available anywhere, regardless of the family's ability to pay.
Shriners has made him normal again. I feel like they have made him who he is. They've made him able to run, to walk like every other child.
These are the kinds of miracles your donations to Shriners Hospitals bring. Take a moment right now to call or go online. With your pledge of just $19 a month, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket with our thanks. And the thanks of all the families you help through your gifts to Shriners Hospitals for Children.
My son Julian can do anything any other kid can do, thanks to Shriners.
Please, call or go online today.
Kurt Pegler, Donnie Tillman with you on our MC22 Illinois Shriners All-Star Game. East against West. West with the football in the blue jerseys. Colton Johnson with a quick inside handoff. And it's going to be a gain of about 6 on third down. And so that's going to bring up a 4th down now for the West and a decision to make here in their own territory.
And then once again, that was Malik Robbins there running it for Quincy. And I was talking about him being the player of the year this year in his area. But it was very interesting because he's been the workhorse in high school his previous years. But this year, he kind of relied on some of his teammates to really do some of the work for him, kind of lessening the load, though he was still able to get over 1,000 yards rushing this year.
And so Casey Danley from Washington High School is going to be back there for his 2nd punt of this game. James Cobb of Urbana and Noah Frericks of Clifton Central are the 2 back to receive for the East. Much better kick this time, and it's going to be Frericks on the go. He catches it at the 45. He's cut to the far sidelines, and he's still on his feet inside the 20 and down to inside the 15. What a return for Noah Frericks from Clifton Central High School.
I tell you what, I think the lunge itself got him about an extra 12 yards. I mean, what a remarkable punt return right there. Twisting and moving and, you know, ducking players. And check out the replay here. I mean, he catches it on the fly. He's already running towards. He's got his momentum going forward. And watch, he makes one player miss. Then a little hesitation there, splits 2 others. You know, he breaks the tackle there. I mean, what else can you ask for? That's Madden-esque. You're hitting the turbo, the juke button, everything there.
So East again in deep in West territory. This time the ball is spotted at the 14, 1st and 10. Ball is up the middle and grinding for some big yards that time is Micah Smith. Sorry, Nick Williams gets that call.
And I tell you what, he carried about 3 or 4 guys with him for about 2 or 3 extra yards. Nick Williams, by the way, medaled in state in wrestling. So definitely can get it done.
The Erie Prophetstown graduate has put his team now to the 5-yard line. A gain of 9, so it's 2nd and 1 on the high snap. He's going to get the call again, and he keeps his feet grinding towards the end zone. 2nd effort, he's going to be marked down about the 1-yard line. Again, Williams with the call.
And you kind of get a look of why he was the player of the year in the Three Rivers Conference. I mean, just churning his feet, twisting and turning, trying to get that extra inch and get the ball over the end zone line. But the Blue defense being very stingy right now, keeping him away.
East knocking on the door now. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Trying to put points on the board for the first time tonight.
Stacking them right.
Direct snap again. That's going to go to Kyle Kirkpatrick, and he's going to take it in. The Civic Memorial High School grad has put the East in front with a 1-yard touchdown run.
And that was a wonderful offensive set right there. Check it out as they stacked everyone on the right-hand side. So he had about 6 blockers in front of him as soon as he took the snap. And look at it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on his right side. And he just really goes up the middle where there's an open spot. And you know what? It's not pretty, but it's still 6 points.
On to attempt the point after touchdown.
And Mike Bray is on to attempt the point after. Try to make it a 7-point drive. Kick is good, and the East strikes first. Takes advantage of a long kick, punt return there from Frericks, and goes over the end zone from 1 yard out. Kyle Kirkpatrick, and it's 7-0 in favor of the East. We'll come back with more from the Shriners game at Illinois Wesleyan University. You're watching East versus West Shriners All-Star Game here on MC22. East head coach Matt Martin said, you know, if chemistry can make tackles and make passes, we're going to be good, because he thought his team had a wonderful week of practice being thrown together. He loved the chemistry of his team, and his undermanned East squad has taken advantage of a couple of miscues from the West and a long punt return, and have scored first on a short touchdown run.
Undermanned as far as number of bodies, but as far as talent is concerned, they're about dead even with the West All-Stars. So we see, even though they don't have the numbers in their favor, they have the right number in their favor, and that's on the scoreboard.
Back to return this kick is Evan White. He changes direction. He's still on his feet before finally brought down inside the 15. East boys have some momentum right now.
Yeah, you know what the problem there is, that he didn't follow his blockers. He tried to change direction, but once you do that, you can't go 1 against 5 or 6, you know, guys flying down the field to try and tackle you. So unfortunately, really nowhere to go on that play.
Kurt Pegler and Donnie Tillman alongside here at Illinois Wesleyan University's Tucci Stadium for the 40th Illinois Shriners game. Our Chef Tech crew here on MC22. Glad you're alongside here for July football.
Hot football.
Yeah, getting people ready for the start of the football season. As we've mentioned, most of these guys are going on to college in other sports or not playing really sports at all. So this might be their last hurrah. This is certainly their last game in a high school jersey. One last opportunity to wear their colors, their school helmet, if you will. 1st and 10 now for the West, and a handoff and a good run that time. Again, getting the call is Evan White. He was the one who returned that kick, and so the Rochelle High School grad is going to move the chains in a 1st down run.
And a good-looking run right there. He had some blockers up in front of him, and they gave him a nice hole for him to run through to get to that 2nd level, and that's what you want to see when you're running the ball.
Billy Ritchie is the quarterback once again. Rick Little, the head coach from Quincy, said he was going to alternate between Colton Johnson of Lewistown and Jersey High School's Billy Ritchie, and so this is Ritchie's series to get. Nothing doing there on the inside handoff.
And John Timmerman right there to snuff out that little inside draw to really stop that play from gaining any momentum, and a nice defensive play after you give up a 1st down.
And Caleb Wilson from nearby Tri-Valley High School assisting on that tackle. This is like a home game for him. When he was introduced at the starting lineups, had perhaps the largest roar from the fans.
Had the shortest drive to get here,
yeah,
right?
Probably. Just 5 miles outside of Bloomington, Tri-Valley. In Downs, Illinois. 2nd down and 9 now from the 29-yard line. Going to run the ball again. It's White. He's going to cut to the near sideline, stay on his feet, cross the 35 to about the 37.
I like the play call there because next time you see that, you might see Ritchie hold on to that ball on a little bootleg or a rollout, something along those lines. But I like that because you give really the East All-Stars something to think about on defense if you were ever to see that play again later on in this game.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Ball is spotted at the 37. And this time it's going to be a keeper. Billy Ritchie just putting his head down and getting the 1st down. So it's going to be a fresh set of downs now for the West.
You know, we thought that maybe the West All-Stars would maybe come out here and chuck the ball a little bit more. I mean, they're the ones that actually have the true quarterbacks on their roster, but they've kind of fallen in love with the run game on this drive so far.
Under 8 minutes to go here in this opening half. First and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 39 of the West. They're in the blue jerseys, and the red is the East squad, which has a 7-0 lead. That run is over the right side. That's Micah Smith from Anawan Weathersfield. And he's a guy that impressed the coaching staff. When I talked with Rick Little, the head coach of the West, I said, you know, who impressed you here in this short week of practice? And one of the first names off his lips, Micah Smith. He's a whale of an athlete, and he had a good week of practice.
Honorable All-State player there, and I tell you what, they lined up in kind of a twin backfield, jumbo stacked on the line, so you knew one of the running backs was going to get the ball.
Again, they're going to run the ball between the tackles. It's going to be a short gain across the 45-yard line. That's going to be Malik Robbins, the Quincy grad, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. About, looks like maybe 3.
Malik Robbins ran for 3,524 yards throughout his high school career. That would be a remarkable college career, but throughout his high school career, also 41 touchdowns during his years at Quincy.
And on 3rd down, White, he's not going to get it. He's tripped up in the backfield, and he's not going to get that 1st down. And so the West squad, again, is going to be facing 4th down and a decision to make as the ball is near midfield.
And you know what? That happens because there's penetration on defense. You get in the backfield, you make White do a little bit of dancing. That split second allows the defense to get back there. Someone gets a tackle, and, you know, it's a tackle for a loss. And now, you know, as you mentioned, decision time for the West All-Stars. Do they go for it on 4th and 3 to try and get the 1st down, or kick it away? And I think they've made a decision here, Kurt.
You've got to credit, by the way, Austin Chauncey of Nokomis for that penetration and making this a 4th down play. Now are they going to try and draw? They were going to try and draw the East offside, and the East didn't bite, and so we had to have a timeout called. And so we'll step aside. 5:49 to go here, first half. 7-0 East over West here at the Shriners game at Illinois Wesleyan. Back with more in a minute.
Brendan and I have a lot in common. We love racing and we like to go fast. But Brendan and I have more than just our sport in common. We are both Shriners Hospitals for Children's biggest fans.
Shriners Hospitals for Children helped me get back on the track.
Brendan had an accident when he was 7, but thanks to the care at Shriners Hospitals, he is back in the race.
Shriners Hospitals for Children brings love to the rescue to children regardless of the family's ability to pay. Visit shrinershospitalsforchildren.org.
So the West used one of its timeouts to try to get a game plan here as East would not bite on the cadence call. So again, it's 4th and 3 from the West 46.
Now we got another timeout.
Now it looks like the East wants to talk things over. And so it's going to be Matt Martin calling timeout. A little chess match going on here in the final 6 minutes of the opening quarter.
And I think that's you want to see what the West All-Stars have as far as what they come out, how they're going to line up on that play on 4th down. So now you get a little sneak peek, as you mentioned, Kurt, a little chess match there. And now you can align your defense accordingly to try and combat that and stop them from getting the first down.
What a great week these players and coaches have had. It's more than football this Shriners week. We mentioned earlier that the players and the coaching staffs went to Chicago on a visit to the Shriners Hospital up there. They also were part of a Miracle League baseball game in this community. And the coaching staffs from both sides said, our players just absolutely had a ball because they're realizing that there's more to life than just football. And a lot of these guys have had sports in their blood for so long that they don't realize there's a lot going on out there, and they're really being exposed to the Shriners this week.
And a lot of times it's so serious, it's so business-like during the high school year when you're playing football that this week you can kind of come out, have a good time, loosen up, and then, like you mentioned, a wonderful opportunity with the kids.
Here we go out of the Wildcat formation, a direct snap.
Looks like he got it.
And that's going to be very close depending on where they spot that for a first down. And indeed it is. The indication is first down for the West.
And Malik Robbins again looks like picked up that first down for the West All-Stars. But no, getting back to what you mentioned about this week as far as the entire Shrine Week is concerned, they had a barbecue cookout and all those things. And just the practices, having fun out there with your competitors as well.
Johnson out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Incomplete. That pass was intended for Micah Smith.
And kind of short-armed it there. One of those things, probably a little timing, pitch and catch real quick. Unfortunately, he hasn't really thrown the ball in quite some time, so maybe he needs to get that one out of the way, and maybe he'll be accurate on the next throw.
Indeed, this wonderful week of football wrapping up. They had a dinner last night. Eddie Sutter, the former Peoria Richwoods star and also an NFL player, played with the Cleveland Browns, was the keynote speaker. So it's been a wonderful week here for these guys, and culminating here with a very entertaining game. It hasn't been high scoring, but nonetheless it's been fun to watch. We've got an illegal procedure call, what looks like against the West, so they're going to mark it off and make it about 2nd and 20.
Yeah, the scoreboard probably doesn't indicate all the excitement we've had so far, but just seeing the amount of talent on the field, I mean, it's not halftime yet, but you can't help but to get excited just to see, the amount of speed, just the amount of ability from these high school all-stars.
All right, the ball on the 46. 2nd and a long way to go. And Johnson's pass is over the middle, tipped and caught. A terrific play by Malik Robbins, who's putting on an exhibition here in the 2nd period.
I'll tell you what, he's been the highlight reel so far in this 2nd quarter, and that's why he was the Illinois offensive MVP in this area. I mean, check out this pass, thrown down the field, thrown a little bit past him, but he's able to get a fingertip on it, tip it to himself, and then make the diving catch. I mean, that's just a player going out and making a play for his quarterback.
You mentioned better than 3,500 yards for his career. He had 41 touchdowns on the ground and an extra 8 in the air, 49 career touchdowns. So Malik Robbins has been fun to watch for a long time in Quincy, and he's showing off here at the Shriners All-Star Game.
And I mentioned just the sheer fact that this year he could have been the man and could have carried the load, but he decided to let his other teammates work some of that load as well. So they really had a 3-headed monster attack over at Quincy.
2nd down and 8. West driving, trying to tie up this football game. We're under 5 minutes to go here in this opening half. Robbins again. Check that. That's Keyshawn Young who gets the call from Alton High School. That's going to be a very short gain, if anything, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Keyshawn Young, wonderful story about him, you know, moving from Alton Marquette to Alton Senior High School. And I mentioned he's a guy that can maybe play a little quarterback for you out of the Wildcat. We've seen it earlier in this game, but that's what he did in high school, and just a remarkable talent.
Yeah, a lot of weapons on the field on both sides here for the East and the West, so you really got to be watching your P's and Q's on who's on the field and what they can do. Snap goes through the hands of Johnson. Nice play, picks it up on the go and throws on the go and has a man. It's a completion and a first down inside the 5-yard line. And again, a nice play and catch. And that's Cody Schooley, the Limestone High School grad, with that play.
Yeah, finally the tight end's kind of getting to the role right here. He's been blocking all day, but Cody gets into the game and just, you know, able to find a spot to where your quarterback can get to him, throw him the easy pass right there after looked like it was going to be disaster with that fumble. And what do you know, a first down, and now it's 1st and goal.
What an athletic play from Colton Johnson to pick that ball up in stride and then with some composure hit Schooley, who had a big year for Limestone, which finished runner-up in the Mid-Illini Conference to Washington, a state semifinalist. So now, inside the 5-yard line, it's 1st and goal for the West. This is White. He's going to bust in. He's going to be real close to the end zone. Still no indication. Now he's in, and it's a touchdown for the West.
And you know what? That was just running into the line and pushing your way into the end zone. And that's fight, that's grit, that's won it, and that's 6 points right there.
So Rochelle High School's Evan White puts the West on the board with the 5-yard touchdown run. And now an extra point is all that separates us from being tied.
And that's a tough run right there. He had 3 guys really trying to strip the ball away from him, but he's able to hang on, have the good hands. And I tell you what, now we're 1 point away from tying this ball game up. And what a drive there by the West All-Stars to move the ball down the field.
And that extra point is up and no good. That was Bobby Lincoln of Mercer County trying to tie this game up. And it's no good. So it's 7-6 East. Stay tuned. We've got 3 minutes and 24 seconds to go in this opening half. You're watching the Shriners All-Star Game here on MC22. Evan White's short touchdown run has the West on the board. It's 7-6 East leading West. 3:24 to go here in this opening half of the Illinois Shriners All-Star Football Game. We are at Illinois Wesleyan University's Tucci Stadium for the 40th edition of this wonderful Midsummer Classic. Kurt Pegler alongside Donnie Tillman with you here on MC22. And we'll see if the East can respond in these final 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
And so far, the second quarter has really picked up here for us, Kurt. And both teams are able to find the end zone on short 1-yard runs.
One of the up-backs is going to pick that ball up as it was squibbed up. That's going to be Zach Klostermeyer from Civic Memorial. And we've got a flag on the play. It's going to be a short return of a squib kick there.
These kids have seen enough squib kicks in practice, haven't they?
Yeah. Try to sort out what the penalty is. While we do that, we'll also run down the coaching staffs for both these teams. The East, again, we mentioned that Matt Martin of Edwardsville is the coach. He played in this game, by the way, back in 1990 when he was a senior from Peoria Richwoods. He went on to a college football career at Western Illinois. Mike Rude from Vienna is on his staff, along with Galen Nord, longtime coach at River Valley. Chuck Milam of Erie Prophetstown. Casey Martin, the retiring coach at Farmington, and Kelsey Pickering of Edwardsville are on that East squad. We'll run down that West coaching staff for you in just a moment. It's going to be 1st and 10 now for the East. Again, wearing their red jerseys and holding a 7-6 lead. That's going to be inside handoff. That's Mike Bray of Lake High School. He's played well here in this opening half. The West squad, again, coached by Quincy's Rick Little. He's assisted by Staunton's Mike Parmenter, Larry Johnson of Geneseo, Tom Jobst of Ottawa Marquette, and one of his assistants at Quincy, Brian Luton. Nice week, not only for the players, but certainly for the coaching staffs as well.
What a game so far for Alex Corey. I mean, he's really taken all the snaps at quarterback for the most part.
Yeah, kind of thrown under center. He was originally coming here to be a defensive back, and he's had to play quarterback. because of some scenarios in personnel. Tried to hang on to the football there, but not going very far with Sawyer McCaffrey of Warren High School there to make the hit.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable that I have Alex Corey actually at defensive back on my depth chart, but the fact that he's playing quarterback today, you know, just to fill in, and, you know, you probably need some reps at quarterback, maybe more than a couple of days of practice, you know, to kind of, you know, get the flow going, but he's really kind of thrown in the fire. But so far, so good. I mean, his team is up 1 in an all-star game with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Abingdon Avon's Chance Bowen in on that tackle. Neil Giroux of River Ridge also. That sets up this 3rd down and 4, and a juggling snap. It's Kilpatrick who has scored the touchdown in the game, but he just had to really survive that one if he could. Check that. That was Corey.
And not really much he could do on that play because, as you mentioned, the ball was tipped up in the air. By the time he grabbed it and looked downfield, there was nothing to do. There was already blue jersey staring him in the face.
Right. So now there's a timeout after the sack there. East is going to make a decision here with 1:46 to go. We'll step aside here at Illinois Wesleyan. 7-6. East leads West at the Shriners game here at Tucci Stadium. The East faces a 4th down and 7 from its own 42-yard line with 1:46 to go. East with 1 timeout remaining. The West with 2 timeouts left here in this opening half. And they've decided to bring the punt unit on, and they're going to kick it away. It's Damian Reed from Anna Jonesboro with a good kick. Back to get it is Casey Danley of Washington, but he's not going to be able to return that one as it's angled out of bounds inside the 20.
That's a remarkable spot right there on the 18 for, you know, a guy that maybe hasn't done a lot of punts, you know, in his, I don't want to say his career, but at least, you know, in quite some time since high school football season ended. But, man, to pin the West All-Stars back there on the 18, that's pretty good.
Well, you brought up a good point. Most of these guys have probably not picked up a football, maybe since last October or November, depending on how far their football teams advanced in the postseason. And most of them are multiple sport athletes, so they've had baseball and track and wrestling and basketball on their minds since the end of last season. So for these guys to kind of put the pads on one more time and get reacclimated into football just for these last couple of days, you're right to come up with plays like that, especially a special teams play. That's nothing short of remarkable.
And a few of them probably have just been working out, you know, getting ready for college ball. Those that are going to play football at the next level, you know, it's different when you're playing against competition, especially all-star competition that is on the same level as you.
Colton Johnson back in the game from Lewistown. That's him throwing it over the middle. It's a completed pass. Well done. A nice timing route that time, run by Chandler Dobbs of South Beloit High School. And he's going to be tackled at about the 30, and that's going to be a 1st down.
And you mentioned a nice timing route right there. That's a little slant route. They had that worked out in practice.
Johnson again passing, and he's throwing downfield. He's going again for his receiver, and that was in and out of the hands of Dobbs.
Wow, that is unfortunate. You know, kind of a confusing play right there, because I think the East defenders thought that ball was going to go to 21, Michael Smith, but actually, as you mentioned, it goes to Dobbs again, and he had the ball. He just let it drop.
And you can see him on the sideline saying, oh, man, I had that one in my hands.
Luckily, coach isn't going to yell at him too much for this one, right?
Right. Dobbs is going to Rock Valley College. He's not going to play football, but he's going to sit out a year and then look at his options. He's right now helping his new South Beloit coach, Justin Gum, with the receivers. That pass is caught, are they going to say, or out of bounds? It looks as if it's a completed pass. Again, Johnson showing his arm and throwing across the field to Keyshawn Young of Alton, and they're moving the chains. That's a completed pass.
And check it out. That's a nice tight rope that he threw over there right on the sidelines, only where his guy could get to it. That's a pretty remarkable pass that normally you would throw to maybe your teammate you've been playing high school ball with for quite some time.
Again, out of the shotgun on 1st down. Johnson steps up in the pocket, and he's going down. Good pass rush that time as the East defense came in, and making the tackle and thwarting that play out is Caleb Wilson from Tri-Valley High School.
Yeah, he really, before Johnson could wind up and throw it, was able to take his legs out from underneath him and get the sack.
Loss of 2. Clock running now, under a minute to go here in this half. Johnson again from the pocket. And again, he's going to go down as the pocket collapsed on him. And guess who's in the middle of that play once again? John Timmerman.
doing it on defense today. I mean, we've called his name a few times already, Kurt, and really that's that pressure getting to the ends of the West offensive line.
Lucas Hamlin from Nokomis also, and you're right, Timmerman has had a whale of a defensive first half.
And check it out here. Look at the ends. Really get that pressure up into the face of the quarterback. And when you do that, then there's that split second of panic mode. What do I do next? Do I kind of move around the pocket? Do I, take the ball myself? Before you can react, the defense is taking you down for a sack.
And so now a timeout on the field with 43 seconds remaining. And again, the ball is going to be spotted at the 46-yard line of the West, which faces a 3rd and 16.
And one thing, Kurt, that you mentioned is the chess game in this contest. And we saw the West All-Stars get some momentum moving the ball down the field. And just like that, the East is able to find a defensive scheme that is able to counter that time that Colt Johnson had in the pocket. In the last 2 plays, they really have gotten to him and brought him down for a sack in the backfield.
Yeah, just when you think that the offense is going to march down the field and take the advantage, the defense, and we've seen that here tonight where on both sides where East was driving and West stepped up, and this time the West is driving and the East D has stepped up. And again, what a first half that John Timmerman is having from Bree Central. He was another guy that impressed Matt Martin, the Edwardsville coach, within the first day. He said, that young man can play. All right, 3rd down, 16. Low snap. Johnson comes up with it, throws downfield, and he just overthrew the intended receiver. And so it's incomplete, and it's 4th down.
And unfortunate there. I think Johnson may have rushed that ball maybe a second and a half too fast, because he really had plenty of time to get his feet set and maybe allow his receiver to get further down the field. He just showed that he has the arm to get it down there. If he maybe have gotten his feet set a second earlier, he might have been able to time that out perfect to get to his receiver.
Casey Danley of Washington was the intended receiver, and we've talked about this. One of the neat things about this game is that you have guys from small schools, 1A, 2A, 3A schools, playing with guys from 7A and 6A schools. And in that case, that's a small school quarterback trying to connect with a big school receiver.
And he might not, be used to having that type of speed on the outside, when you play against some of the kids that go to the larger schools. But, the small school kids want to prove they can play as well.
So Danley on 4th and 16 is going to kick it away. And that return is muffed, and the ball is still loose, and it looks like the West has come up with a recovered fumble. And the West is in business with 28 seconds to go.
Wow, that is amazing. And again, we talk about something you might not have practiced a lot in a few months. Punt returns. The ball's in the air for quite some time, and that just goes right through his hands. Ball's around. You got to, hop on the ball at this point. And the West had all the blue jerseys there. They had the numbers, and they come away with the big play. And now, like you mentioned, they're in business with an opportunity to score with just 28 seconds left to go in this half.
So it's James Cobb who couldn't come up with the kick, and it's Neil Giroux of River Ridge High School for the West who does come up with a loose ball. And again, now the West, with a timeout remaining, is in business. 1st and 10 now from the East 17 with 28 seconds remaining here in the half. What an entertaining second period we've had. Johnson again at quarterback. And he's in trouble again, and he threw it away. All kinds of pressure put on that time from the East defense.
And he was looking left side. He was trying to see if his wide receiver would get open on that play, but tight coverage and good coverage there by the East, not allowing that play to happen. He tried to get the ball away to his dump off his running back over there, just not able to get enough arm strength as he was going down.
Brendan Menaker of Monticello with the pressure. Now it's 2nd and 10. Johnson in the near sideline. This is White. He catches it inside the 15. He's still on his feet to the 10, and he's out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock with 17 seconds to go.
And a nice screen play right there you saw by White. And the one thing about it, his teammate was out there to make the block. That was 21, Michael Smith, able to get the block on the first defender, so that allowed him to get another extra 3 yards to move the ball a little bit. So it's 3rd and 4. And now we'll see what the blue team, the West All-Stars, will be able to do here. A lot of options now. 3rd and 4, pretty manageable.
And again, with 1 timeout remaining, so the middle of the field is still in play. Not necessarily running to the edges. Johnson looks to the middle, and he's got a receiver and a touchdown. A nice pass over the middle, and it's caught for a score, and it's Micah Smith from Anawan Weathersfield.
And what a play for that 11-yard touchdown right there. Another timing route, another quick slant. You get in the defense. Watch the replay here. They're kind of sitting back in a little soft pocket zone. He gets inside on his defender, and that's just a quick timing route, quick 6 points for the West All-Stars.
An impressive drive, of course, aided by the fumbled punt return. And so the West has its first lead of the game on the touchdown pass from Colton Johnson of Lewistown High School to Micah Smith of Anawan Weathersfield.
And how big is that going into halftime?
And they're going to go for 2 after not converting on the first point after. It's a 4-receiver set. Throw to the far corner, and it's tipped away. The pass was intended for Cody Schooley of Limestone, but defended well by the East. Back there on defense was John Hayes from Flanagan High School, who batted that one away.
And just kept his eye on the ball, able to time it at the right peak, jump up there and swat it away. So the 2-point conversion, no good. But you know what? I think the West is pretty happy. They're going to get 6 points there.
So the West takes advantage of the fumbled punt and cashes in with a touchdown and leads this one 12-7 with 13 seconds remaining. And we may see some sort of a squib kick here to try to ensure that there wouldn't be any sort of a long return, especially after we did see a long punt return earlier in this game from Noah Frericks of Clifton Central for the East.
Yeah, I would think that the squib kick would be the way to go. Like you said, you got 13 seconds left in this game. You want to go into halftime with this lead. You don't want to give the East All-Stars any opportunity to try and throw something deep down the field and get in the end zone before time expires. But boy, this game has really changed, so to speak. You know, the East All-Stars had the momentum up 7-0, but the West has come back with 2 scores late, and now they're in business. 2 scores in the last, 3 minutes.
Sawyer McCaffrey, the graduate of Warren High School, will kick. And we'll see what the strategy is. It is indeed a squib kick. And one of the up linemen is just going to jump on the ball. And that was an alert play from Nick Birdie of Robinson High School just to fall on it. So with 12 seconds to go, the East could run 2 plays here.
Yeah, they still have plenty of time, as you mentioned. You get 2 heaves down the field, maybe, or if you can maybe get something over the middle. I don't know if you can get to the line of scrimmage fast enough, or maybe get to the sidelines to get out of bounds in time. So you might have a chance at an easier throw in that final play. But like you mentioned, 12 seconds, still plenty of time to get something done here.
And again, the warrior that is known as Alex Corey.
Now we get to see the arm.
Is your quarterback again from Maine East, the guy who's coming back from ACL surgery. It's going to be a handoff instead, and there's not much doing there as Mike Bray from Lakes High School gets the call, but the West defense was not fooled, and that's going to be our final play of this very entertaining opening half. Good 30 minutes in the books for the 40th annual Illinois Shriners All-Star Game. The West, with a couple of touchdowns late in the half, leads the East 12-7. You're watching the Illinois Shriners game here on MC 22.
This is Sadie. You may not know what to look at her, but her life was in danger before she was born. An ultrasound revealed a rare and dangerous condition that locked her joints. With a natural childbirth being potentially fatal, young first-time parents had to face some painful decisions. Fortunately, Sadie's family came to Shriners Hospitals for Children and found the reassurance, answers, and hope they needed. Today, Sadie's 4. And she not only walks, she runs, and her legs are getting stronger every day. Her little hands still have some trouble grasping, but with weekly therapy and more operations, Sadie will be getting better. And in time, Sadie will play sports and will dance with her dad when she gets married. Care like this doesn't come from an ordinary hospital. It comes from love and the generosity of the thousands of people who support Shriners Hospitals for Children. Your donations allow us to improve the lives of over 120,000 families each year. Your $19 monthly gift helps us provide some of the finest pediatric care available anywhere, regardless of the family's ability to pay.
The biggest joy is watching Sadie transform from a baby who is born without the ability to move any part of her body into a child that can jump on the trampoline and run through the yard.
These are the kinds of miracles your donations to Shriners Hospitals bring. Take a moment right now to call or go online. With your pledge of just $19 a month, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket with our thanks, and the thanks of all the families you help through your gifts to Shriners Hospitals for Children.
My daughter walks today because of Shriners Hospitals.
Please call or go online today.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights here, and the first quarter was really dominated by the defense, and the East setting the tone, and that's Streeter's Kyle Kurjelik who came in. But the West also had some good defense too. We've mentioned several guys' names more than once, and Matt Hawkins of Galesburg with a big play there. Then special teams came along and the offenses woke up.
That's right, Noah Frericks in there to take that one back to get the red inside the red zone. And then from there, they were looking to punch it in. They would do just that. Kyle Kirkpatrick gets into the end zone, 1-yard score there, and it's the East All-Stars on the board early. Then Evan White carrying the ball right here for the West All-Stars as he gets the first down. And check out the upcoming play right here, the timing route from the blue team. That is Billy Ritchie over the top to Malik Robbins for the first down. Then we're going for the touchdown. Check out the handoff up the middle. Tough yardage right there by 30. That is Evan White for the touchdown. And the Blue would answer with the score. They were down 7-6 after missing the extra point. We get some more defense and a little bit of everything in the second quarter, Kurt.
Yeah, the defense came in. The red pass rush has been terrific on the east side. And just ask Colton Johnson about that, the West quarterback. Here's the big play of the second period, though. The dropped punt, the fumble, and inside of a minute to go, the West is going to take advantage with a touchdown pass.
That's right. The slant route inside the defensive seams right there. Micah Smith gets the touchdown, 11-yard reception with just 13 seconds to go. And right now, our West All-Stars lead at 12-7.
12-7, a 5-point lead. The West over the East. You're watching the Illinois Shriners game from Illinois Wesleyan University here on MC22 Sports. West leads East 12-7, halftime of the 40th annual Illinois Shriners football game. Let's go down to the field and Donnie Tillman.
All right, thanks, Kurt. I'm down here on the field at the 2014 Shrine All-Star football game, and I'm joined by Eric Jark, the game chairman for today's game. And Eric, kind of tell us just what this week has been like as far as all the All-Stars being here and all the festivities that have taken place.
Well, I can tell you it's just been an absolute fun-filled week. As I told some parents last night, it's kind of like the show of the week. It starts on Tuesday, getting the players checked in, meeting all the media, and then we get them up early and bus them up to the Chicago hospital, get them to see the opportunity and chance to see what they're really raising money for, and create that awareness of what Shriners Hospitals for Children can do for many kids around Central Illinois and across the United States. And then Thursday was a really unique experience for the players. This year, the Shriners partnered up with the Miracle League of Central Illinois, which consists of kids that have special needs. They may be in a wheelchair, there was one girl that was even blind that used a ball that beeped at her and she was able to hit it. It was really neat, but it was quite the experience for the football players to have a cookout and get to really buddy up with a kid that needs assistance, that just doesn't have it as good as they do. And then last night we had a great banquet with Eddie Sutter from Peoria that spoke about his experience in the game back in 1988 and his career in the NFL, and now living over in the Peoria area with his wife Tracy and 5 children. And then the game so far, it's been a great one today. We had a little weather issue this morning, but the Mother Nature so far looked after us.
I'll tell you what, Mother Nature has to do a lot to really stop these football players. But getting back to that, I mean, these players that sign up, that commit to this game, I mean, they're nominated by their respective head coaches, correct?
Yeah, it really starts with their high school coach. The Coaches Association has done a fantastic job of really finding the right kids to play in this game. They're all great, super kids that really are well respected in their community, play hard, and respect the adults and other kids. I mean, they warmed right up with the kids, respected them, and you know, it's just been an unbelievable experience. I mean, last night when a kid comes up to you and he says, you know, I can't thank you enough for what you Shriners have done for us, and I'm ready to change my degree and move into the speech or special education. So it gives you a great feeling to do that.
I was actually talking with one of the kids on media day. He was telling me that normally he does a camp that he's done every year for the last few years, but he couldn't pass up this opportunity to play in this game, and that just shows how important it is to not only these kids, but you know, they perform on the field, but off the field they want to help out as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, when they get this chance of a lifetime to play in this game, it really resonates with them, and they really struck a bond with our prince this year, Alec, and our princess Emma. They got to meet her last night, but they've been able to form some really good relationships with kids in the Miracle League, and Alec, and I know a lot of them exchanged text messages with him and contact information, and I think you're going to see a lot of positive things out of this group. I mean, they really took an interest, and I've already had coaches and families that say, hey, we know some kids in our area that may need benefit from Shriners Hospitals for Children. So today I took some time out and contacted the families and got them in touch and told them what to do to get up to Shriners Hospitals for Children in Chicago and St. Louis so that we can get them on their feet and get them recovered.
Well, Eric, we appreciate you taking out a little time to speak with us, and of course, hopefully we have a great second half and just really recap what a wonderful week it has been for the Illinois Shrine game. With that said, we're going to toss the break, but when we come back, second half action from here at the 2014 Illinois Shrine game.
Second half underway here as the West kicks to the East in this Shriners game. Wow, good, nice move here, staying on his feet and spinning and getting extra yardage is Mike Bray from Lakes High School for the East, and that's where the East will begin play here in this third quarter. 12-7, the West, with 2 late second period touchdowns, has the advantage in this 40th Illinois Shriners All-Star game. Kurt Pegler and Donnie Tillman with you and our MC22 sports crew.
Tell you what, Mike Bray ran into Jacob really on that return, and he didn't unload on him. He definitely stopped him in his tracks on that run back there.
Ball spotted at the 42. It's 1st and 10. And again, the East with this football, and that's Damian Reed, and a Jonesboro grad, gets the first carry of this third quarter.
You know, one cool thing for Alex Corey, even though he hasn't played quarterback a lot in the last couple of years, Kurt, the fact that he is the only quarterback for the red team, barring any injury, he's going to be on the field for this entire game, it seems like.
And again, the Maine East grad came here thinking he was going to be a defensive back, but pressed into action when the 2 quarterbacks on the roster were unable to play in this game. And he's done a whale of a job for the East team. It's going to be a short gain up the middle between the tackles. And again, that is Damian Reed. So you won't be surprised if the East tries to establish a running game again, as it did in the first quarter.
And you know what? Just keep the pace of the game in their favor. Another thing too, Kurt, when we talk about Alex Corey stepping in to play quarterback, just getting that timing for handoffs, those inside draws, that takes a lot of practice. It looks easy on the field, but it takes a while of practice to get that timing down.
Fighting back from knee surgery, ACL and MCL tears, and that ball is going to be almost intercepted. Casey Danley of Washington stepped in the passing lane and nearly had a pick 6.
Oh boy, he was going the other way with that one. I mean, as you mentioned, he timed that play perfect, jumped the route, and that was going the other way if he was able to hang on. And I'm sure he's frustrated right now because it's those type of plays that you will always remember, especially in the All-Star game. Look at him jump that route right there. Deion Sanders would have been proud of that play if he would have taken it back. He could have high-stepped if he wanted to.
He read the play perfectly, but just couldn't corral it easily. That would have been a touchdown going the other way. Instead, it's 4th and 3, and so the punting team on now for the East, and the West holds serve on the first possession of this third quarter.
Kind of the start we saw to the first quarter as both teams, at least on this first possession, defense winning the competition.
Damian Reed kicks away to the aforementioned Casey Danley on the fair catch. And the West will have its first possession of this third quarter, starting the drive from its own 16.
And a lot of that momentum in the West favor right now, even though they're coming out of halftime and it's their first offensive possession. But the last two drives in the end of the first half, they were able to score touchdowns. You get your first TD of the game, 3:24 left to go in the contest. And then after that muffed punt, they score again with under 15 seconds to go in the first half. So the West right now really playing with house money as they are leading this contest 12-7.
And Billy Ritchie of Jersey High School is going to start the third quarter at quarterback. Ritchie and Colton Johnson of Lewistown splitting time as the quarterbacks for the West team in the blue jerseys. And here's Ritchie now in the pocket. He's got time. He's throwing to the near sidelines, and that ball is incomplete. The intended receiver on the play is Cody Schooley.
John Hayes playing some good defense right there. He was step for step with his wide receiver, able to jump up and not able to come down with the ball. But I tell you what, he timed it perfectly because he was right there step for step. That ball in the air probably a little bit too long for the West team's liking, but nonetheless, they come away with the second opportunity.
Yeah, John Hayes of Flanagan quietly has had a nice defensive game at cornerback. We're going to have encroachment here, it appears, as one of the East defenders jumped off sides.
Yeah, that was John Timmerman there who jumped the gun a little bit. We've called his name for all the right reasons in the first half. That time, just not on time with the snap count.
To complete the thought on John Hayes, he was the one that batted a ball intended for Cody Schooley away. That was in the end zone. That saved a two-point conversion. And again, the ball's going to go to the near sidelines. It's Schooley with the completion and Hayes with the tackle.
And again, it's a good thought, to kind of go outside and try and, allow your receivers to do something with the ball on the outside of the lines. But here's the problem. That ball, again, in the air too long, Kurt. By the time he gets it, there's a defender on his backside. He can't even turn and make a football play.
So it's a gain of 6 on the play. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4. And again, the defenders are jumping, but it appears as if they're going to change the play at the line of scrimmage here, as Ritchie is now looking down at his wristband with the plays on it. And on 3rd down, he's going to be scrambled out of the pocket, and that ball is incomplete. And so the East squad's defense holds and forces the West into a 4th down.
And here's the interesting thing about that on defense. The East only rushed 3 guys. So the fact that they were able to get pressure on the quarterback, make him throw the ball earlier than he really wanted to, with just a 3-man rush is pretty impressive. That means that they're really getting through a deep West offensive line set.
And so Casey Danley of Washington is back to punt for the West. And James Cobbs of Urbana and Noah Frericks of Clifton Central back to receive for the East. Frericks with a tremendous punt return earlier in the game, and the ball is headed his way again. And he'll let that one roll as it's going to die down at the 40-yard line. Frericks' punt return helped set up the first score of the game for the East.
And what a smart play by Danley on that punt. He saw that they had the punt block on, so he called another blocker into the middle to kind of stop that rush, and able for him to get that ball off with his foot and get it down the field. Smart play call.
Proceeds again for this game go to benefit the Shriners Hospitals, 22 of them throughout North America. Again, helping children with all kinds of ailments, regardless of their family's abilities to pay or not. A wonderful fundraiser here. And that ball goes right through the hands of the quarterback, and it's a loose ball, and it's going to be finally jumped on alertly. Back there to get it is Mike Bray, but that went right through Alex Corey's hands, and the East is going to be in a deep, deep hole here.
I tell you what, but an interesting play there by Bray, because he saw the defender coming on. He waited to kind of bump him off his line to the ball. Check it out right here. Watch Bray. If you can see it, maybe it'll pop up on your screen or not. Watch him bump the defender off his line to the ball, and then Bray goes and gets the ball. So really heads up play right there. Give him a thumbs up on that play, because that allowed him to get to the ball first before the defender.
A loss of 22 on the play, so it's 2nd and 32. And as you might expect in an all-star game where these players have only been together for a few days, timing plays have been an issue here tonight with some of the snaps. That ball is intended for Cobbs and caught. And so Cobbs makes the catch across the 40-yard line. James Cobbs from Urbana High School was open, and Alex Corey hit him in stride.
I tell you what, we talked to Cobb earlier in the week during media day, and he was very impressive speaking to the media. And what a play right there to catch the ball on the shoulder right there. Easy pitch and catch, and that gets you back in a manageable 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and forever.
So a gain of 24 on the play, and again, that does set up 3rd down and 8 for the East. The ball is going to be at the 42-yard line in this 40th annual Illinois Shriners All-Star Game. 88 of the top high school football players in the state here in Bloomington having their final hurrah as a high school football player. 3rd and 8. Blitz coming in. Avoids the rush. And it's complete for a 1st down. Well done. Corey throwing under duress, and the pass is caught for a 1st down.
And what else can you ask for? Your quarterback, as you mentioned, is under duress there, Kurt. He avoids a sack right there, just being shifty, and then is able to have enough arm strength to get the ball down the field. He actually had 2 receivers down there, and Ozzie Kent from Williamsville High School is able to come away with the catch, and he's able to get the 1st down. Pretty remarkable there.
That was Colton Jansen of Warren High School with the pressure on the play. And yes, indeed, a nice catch for a 1st down by Ozzie Kent of Williamsville. Plays his high school football for Aaron Kuntz. And now a 1st down and a run right up the middle. Big yardage, and it's going to be maybe a touchdown. It is going to be a touchdown. And the East is back on the board as Mike Bray busts through for the touchdown.
41 goes for 45 yards right there, and that was a remarkable play because Bray really was able to display some of his speed and his shift and his check out, the draw play right up the middle, some great blocking up front. The big boys get all the credit, and then he takes it outside, and he's got the speed to get to the end zone. What a remarkable play by Bray.
He was untouched. You have to tip your cap to the offensive line. Gigantic hole, and once Bray got into the secondary, he was gone.
That's some track speed right there, Kurt. That's pretty remarkable. Great play by Bray there.
48-yard scoring play, and the East has jumped back out in front. Why not add the extra point? That entire scoring play was for the senior from Lakes High School. Bray runs it in, and Bray kicks the point after. And he's kicked the East to a 14-12 advantage here at the Illinois Shriners game at Illinois Wesleyan. Back with more in a minute. You're watching Illinois Shriners All-Star Football action on NC 22. The East has jumped back in front. Mike Bray with a long touchdown run, and the Lakes graduate has given his East All-Stars a 14-12 advantage. Malik Robbins back to take that kick, and he comes across the 25 before he's brought down a big hit.
Yeah, another stick there by Ozzie Kent from Williamsville High School, able to bring him down. But man, this game has changed once again. The momentum now back with the West All-Stars, as the East All-Stars, as they get back on the board and take the lead. Oh, I'm sorry, don't take the lead. They're still trailing by 2, I should say.
The scoring has all happened in the 2nd and 3rd periods after a scoreless first quarter. Both teams trying to kind of feel their way through those opening 15 minutes, but we've seen some big offensive plays here in the 2nd and 3rd quarters.
Let me correct myself for the 3rd time, Kurt. East is in the lead right now, 14-12.
7:21 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and Colton Johnson from Lewistown High School will come back out. Again, the alternate quarterback rotation for the West. That's him under center with a power I lineup, and that ball is loose. It slipped right out of the hands of the running back, which was Evan White, and it looks like the East has come up with a turnover, and fresh off their scoring play, the East is back in business.
Momentum is a wonderful thing, especially when it's in your favor, and just like that, a slick ball gets out of there as we check out what happened right here. Never really had a handle on the ball, as you mentioned, Kurt. It comes right out, and you got two red jerseys right there recovering the ball, and
looks like Brendan Maneker from Monticello High School is going to be given that fumble recovery.
That's right. Get a breather there, because right now your offense is happy. They've got the ball. They're in enemy territory and looking to put more points on the board.
Well, just as the West took advantage of a muffed punt late in the second quarter in the red zone and turned that into points, now the East team of Matt Martin trying to do the same here early in this third quarter. Nothing doing there on that run between the tackles.
Boy, wall of blue right there, not really moving too much, and he, as you mentioned, runs right into that defensive stronghold right there.
That's Nick Williams of Erie Prophetstown, the ball carrier. He got a yard, and so they'll spot the ball at the 26 and call it 2nd down and 9.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Kurt, that the East All-Stars, they want to just kind of keep this game going momentum-wise in their favor. They want to just manage the game, and right now they can do that on the ground, especially with the clock ticking.
2nd and 9. Corey out of the shotgun. This is the option. The ball is fumbled, and it's on the ground and jumped on and recovered by Williams. So this offensive set has been a little rocky here for the East.
Yeah, that's right. Another tries to take that pitch right there, and just again not able to get a good handle on it. It gets away from him, but he's able to recover.
It appears as if there's also a penalty marker down, and it's going to go, it looks like, against the West.
The Zebras are debating what the play call, or what the call is on the field, I should say.
It's a personal foul against the West, and it will be the second such penalty here tonight against the West, and that's going to be an automatic first down, and the ball's going to go all the way inside the West 15. What a turn of events.
Didn't see where the personal foul came from, but usually maybe after the play some extracurricular activity takes place, but nonetheless, a play that could have been disastrous for the East All-Stars. Now they've got a first down, and they're closer to that goal line.
Fresh set of downs now for the East with the football and a 2-point lead. Under 6.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We are at Tucci Stadium on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University, the 40th Illinois Shriners High School Football All-Star Game. 1st and 10. Williams stopped up again. Good penetration from the West defense.
And we saw this earlier in the game, Kurt, but you see the East All-Stars lining up with 4 wideouts, but yet they're trying to stretch the defense out and run it up the middle, but the West All-Stars really not going for it. As they stuffed the middle there, I tell you what, they had the wide receiver up top wide open. If there was a quick screen that way, he maybe could have gotten 6 if he beat his defender.
Galesburg, Matt Hawkins, again, in on that tackle. He has had a tremendous game here defensively. A big 6'3", 265 lineman from the Galesburg Silver Streaks. Ball thrown towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. That was a pretty nifty play. That time as Kyle Kirkpatrick came in, and he's kind of the backup quarterback here tonight, and he's the one who is rolling out and making the pass here.
I tell you what a play. I mean, it's all almost intercepted. It's almost caught for a touchdown. Kind of thrown in the right spot. You get it up in the air, get some loft on it. That pass maybe should have been caught for a TD.
Pass was intended for Chase Hagian of Nashville, and that brings up 3rd and 10. Kirkpatrick is still in the game, and that's him taking the direct snap. And he's going to carry it this time across the 10, inside the 10 to about the 7 or 6, depending on where it's marked. That's going to bring up 4th down, and an interesting play call here.
And we saw Kirkpatrick earlier in the contest take the direct snap and get a touchdown out of it. And now you're seeing him, again, line up in that kind of wildcat formation, give us some different looks. He threw the ball. Now he's running the ball. So one of those things that the West All-Stars really needs to think about when he lines up in the game. You know, he's a dual threat. He's proven that so far.
Yeah, he had a monster game earlier this year for Civic Memorial, a 415-yard passing effort against Triad. He threw for 2 touchdowns. He ran for 2 more in that game. And now he's being counted on 4th down. He's going to carry it again across the 5, and he's going to be very close to a 1st down depending on the spot. It looks from here as if he's got it.
Yeah.
He does. The indication is a conversion on 4th down. And so now the East is going to have 4 cracks at the goal from inside the 5.
And just watch this. See how, again, stacked on the right side. He's got a couple of tight ends off the line, and they were able to give him just that little crease that he can get through. He gets the 1st down, and as you mentioned now, you know, it's 4 down territory at this point. You got to go for it when you're inside the 5. You're looking for 6 points out of this.
Under 4.5 minutes to go here now, 3rd quarter. So Kyle Kirkpatrick has come in almost like a relief pitcher and done a nice job at quarterback for the East. He's going to keep it again and get into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight.
Didn't need 4 cracks, he just took 1. And again, we see him go right up the middle, following his blockers. And on those last couple of run plays, Kirk, we really have seen the East All-Star offensive line dominate the West All-Star defensive line. And again, look where he's running. They're stacked to the right side. He's running right behind his big bodies, and that's an easy 6 points.
On to attempt the point after touchdown.
Kyle Kirkpatrick, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. He had a 1-yard run in the 2nd quarter, and he now adds that 4-yard run. And a 20-12 advantage in favor of the East, pending our point after.
My, oh my, momentum really carrying in the East favor right now in this 3rd quarter. So a little bit of discussion on the field. Trying to decide on what play to call here. Will they go for 1 or go for 2?
We brought the kicking unit out here. Mike Bray, who kicked the point after. He's had the kicking duties here, the place kicking duties this evening for the red-clad East squad. He's going to try and tack an extra point on it, and he is successful.
Tell you what, he's got a pretty good leg. I mean, he got that ball up in the air, but he drives it through. And right now, a 2-score lead for the East All-Stars.
A 14-point 3rd quarter has the East in front of the West. 21-12. You're watching the Illinois Shriners All-Star Game from Illinois Wesleyan University here on MC 22.
Brendan and I have a lot in common. We love racing and we like to go fast. But Brendan and I have more than just our sport in common. We are both Shriners Hospitals for Children's biggest fans.
Shriners Hospitals for Children helped me get back on the track.
Brendan had an accident when he was 7, but thanks to the care at Shriners Hospitals, he is back in the race.
Shriners Hospitals for Children brings love to the rescue to children regardless of the family's ability to pay. Visit shrinershospitalsforchildren.org.
A 3rd quarter thus far owned by the East squad. 2 touchdowns here in this 2nd half and a 21-12 lead in this 40th annual Illinois Shriners All-Star Game. Kurt Pegler, Donnie Tillman, our Chef Tech Productions crew here for MC 22. We are at Tucci Stadium at Illinois Wesleyan University with 88 of the top high school football players in the state of Illinois playing their final high school games. Some of these guys will be playing college football here in about a month. Many of them, this will be their last competitive football game at any level.
I'll tell you what, a lot of these kids are going to be real good friends at McKendree, because I was talking to a few of them during media day earlier this week, Kirk, and it seemed like every other kid I was talking to was like, hey, I'm going to McKendree, I'm going to McKendree. So it seems like it's a family affair of McKendree kids who are kind of getting to know each other right now as we get ready for, as they get ready for college, I should say.
Again, the Shriners local chapter here hosting this game last year. This game raised $24,000 that went directly to medical care for the Shriners patients and the players here this week made a visit to the Shriners Hospital in Chicago on Wednesday, a memorable trip for them. It's been a memorable week. We're going to look at the Tri-Valley High School cheerleaders. Tri-Valley has its cheerleading squad here, and right next to them, the Washington Panthers. Nearby Washington High School also providing cheerleaders for this game, so it's a big thrill not only for the players and for the coaches, but for the cheerleaders to be a part of an all-star game as well. 4:15 to go here, third quarter. East now kicking to the West. This is Malik Robbins from Quincy High School. He gets across the 35, finally brought down in 37, so a nice return, and the West is going to have pretty fair field position to begin their second drive of this third quarter.
And we mentioned, we thought that the West really had the momentum going into halftime with those two late scores, but you know, you can't really have your frown upside down, so to speak. When it comes to this game, there's still a lot of time to really get things going, and even though the East has come out with the counterpunch in the third quarter, still plenty of time for the West to get that offense going. See, there you go. Now you have a smile.
There you go. All smiles here at the Shriners game.
That's right.
And again, Colton Johnson is back at quarterback for the West. The Lewistown High School graduate, going to throw to the far sideline. It is caught, a completion. That's Evan White of Rochelle. He's got first down yardage for the West.
Kurt, you got to see a lot of Colton Johnson this past season at the high school level. I tell you what, this spread offense, it seems like it's tailor-made for his ability because he's got the arm to really get the ball out to the receivers.
No doubt a 3-year starter for Darren Winkler's Lewistown Indians. Honorable mention, All-Stater as a junior. Just a nice high school football career for the former Lewistown Indian. He's back again. He's going to throw. His pass appeared to be tipped, incomplete. Out in the flats, he was trying to get it out there to Keyshawn Young, who he had some real estate to work with had he been able to complete the pass.
Yeah, that pocket closed right around Johnson quickly before he could get that ball away. But you mentioned Darren Winkler and the Lewistown Indians, a couple of tough seasons. You go 4-5 a year ago, 5-4 this past season, just missing the playoffs as far as points are concerned. But you got a really good quarterback in Colton Johnson that can really get it done.
Very deserving of this all-star nod. This time he's going to go down. The East was not fooled by that play-action fake. And they had 3 guys converging at Colton Johnson in that West backfield.
Yeah, I tell you what a way for the East defense to just follow the ball. Watch here on this replay. Everyone does not fall for that head fake. You see they look back. He doesn't have the ball. They go back to the quarterback. I mean, that's the only possible candidate at that point that can still have the pigskin, and they take him down for the sack.
Zach Klostermile from Civic Memorial in on that tackle. We've got a flag here before the snap on this third down play.
Yeah, I think the West is going to get 5 yards back on this.
So they'll make it a 3rd and 8 now instead of a 3rd and 13.
Makes things manageable now at this point.
Might change your play call at this point. 3:13 to go here, third quarter. Sun is setting. It's become a very pleasant July evening here in Central Illinois for high school football.
And look at Johnson right there. Gets a look at the defense and then looks over to the sideline, see if they want to change the play. Looks like the East is only going to rush 3 on this play. Nope, they come with the blitz.
3rd down and 8. He's looking downfield, and he's got a receiver, and the pass is tipped away at the last second. A juggling catch was nearly made on the far sideline by Evan White.
But I tell you what, I think that was the call because the East came with the blitz. They showed 3. They came with 5 or 6 guys, and you go downfield. You got one-on-one coverage. Not a bad throw. I mean, that ball could have been caught. Just a tough play to catch, or tough ball to catch, I should say, when the ball is deflected like that by the defender.
Austin Chauncey from Nokomis High School back in the secondary to make the defensive play. He's quietly had a nice game defensively as well. So that brings up 4th and 8, and so Casey Danley from Washington High is back to punt the ball away. So the West team has had 2 drives stalled out, but this is going to be a fake. The up back gets it, and now he's going to throw to Danley. The punter who comes up, he gets tripped up though. A nice open field tackle, and that likely saved a first down.
Yeah, that was Kyle Redzalik, the Streeter product.
Kurjelik from Streeter making that play.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that shoestring tackle right there really saved the first down, and What a play, and we talk about the momentum time and time again. It's those type of plays right there that keeps your team in the lead in these kinds of contests.
So the West tries a little trickery on the fake punt, but the open field tackle by Kyle Kurjelik, who was a late add to this Shriners game. Big play, and so the East gets it back now on downs at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. It's going to be Williams up the middle, but not much going there, it doesn't look like. Or maybe, I'm sorry, Mike Bray gets that call. Bray with the long touchdown run here earlier in this 3rd quarter.
No, he ran into a few big bodies up there. I believe that was Dakota Park on that front line making a stop for the Blue All-Stars. Also, Matt Hawkins of Galesburg making a stop up there. A couple of big bodies to run into. You don't want to get too close to those guys. You want to maybe try and run around them. Not the case on that last play.
No gain, so we'll call it 2nd and 10 again from the 46. The East with the football and a 21-12 advantage. 2 third-quarter touchdowns for the East here to forge in front. Corey's pass is incomplete. It hit Ozzie Kent right in the numbers, but he couldn't corral it.
And we've seen a couple of plays where the wide receivers just haven't been able to, hang onto the ball. And I was watching them warm up earlier, Kurt, and it seemed like the East All-Stars, for whatever reason, had a tough time catching some of those fingertip catches. And maybe, again, we talked about a lot of guys haven't played football in a few months, so maybe they're just trying to shake off the cobwebs a little bit.
Just putting the football pads on. The first couple of practices this week were, maybe with just helmets. But, they had to suit up just to psychologically get back into the groove of having pads on. 3rd and 10 now. Corey out of the shotgun. Pump fake. Throwing downfield. Out of bounds. Incomplete.
Yeah, unfortunately on that play, that ball went out of bounds. Had he been able to keep that ball in the field of play, may have had a chance there to run under it, but nonetheless, going to go 3 and out on this drive. And pretty fortunate for the West because they don't want to get down too much further in this contest with only 2 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Low snap on the punt, and that's going to be all kinds of trouble. And the West is going to come up with it as the ball's still alive and has not been whistled dead. It's scooped up and run back by George Lorton of Jersey High School. And the West is going to have the ball deep in East territory.
That's a heads-up play because it looked like everyone was down. The ball was recovered by at least someone underneath the pile. But as you see, it kind of scoots away from him as he's looking upfield to see if he has time to kick the ball off. He doesn't, and he never quite gets back to it. And look how it just kind of slowly creeps out. And what a heads-up play by Lorton to scoop that up. He's trying to go for 6. He gets run down. May take some flack for that on the sidelines, but nonetheless, you got the ball on the 5-yard line, and again, momentum now shifts again. The West All-Stars sitting, I believe, on the 7-yard line with a chance to punch it in and get back in this ball game.
Another big play on special teams. Evan White hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain. You talk about how important, coaches always say it's a 3-phase game. Your offense, your defense, your special teams. We've seen a muffed punt. We've seen a long punt return which set up a touchdown. We've seen a bad snap that's perhaps going to lead to points for the West. The special teams have played a big part of this game.
Yeah, and one of the things that you maybe don't get to work on a lot when you have these practices throughout the week is special teams. You're just trying to learn the offense. You want to learn the playbook on offense and defense. Special teams, maybe takes a step back, unfortunately, and you're seeing some opportunities here for the opposing teams.
Malik Robbins, they tried to do an inside handoff, and Robbins couldn't hang on to it, and the East comes away with a fumble.
Yeah.
That was a missed exchange between Billy Ritchie and Malik Robbins.
I couldn't tell if either he got hit right as the exchange happened or he thought he was in protect mode, and we'll see it here. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, he never got the ball. It was supposed to be kind of a disguised play where the ball was given behind him, and as you see coach's reaction, oh, brother, total missed opportunity there as he never got the ball quite in his hands to get moving on that play.
Well, Rick Little, the Quincy head coach, knows the kind of weapon he has in Malik Robbins and wanted him to get a chance to maybe get in the end zone, but that is a costly turnover, and the East has withstood that one, at least for the time being. And now with a minute to go in this third quarter, the East is going to try to get out of its own end.
Nick Williams taking a handoff there, twisting and turning a couple times, and really not getting much done on that play as the blue defense steps up and creates a wall for him to go nowhere.
Coming down to what could be the final play of this third quarter.
And now the wave has started in the fan section here at Tucci Stadium.
It was so hot and muggy earlier, they wouldn't have minded an actual wave to come through. And now bad snap, it's deep in the end zone. And now this is going to result in a safety unless somehow, some way, and it is going to be a safety. Tackled in the end zone was Thomas Jones, and so the West is going to get points out of it anyway.
And get the ball back. So what a turn of events right there. The high snap, Jones tries to go back and get it and twist and turn and find somebody. At this point, you just got to throw it downfield or at least throw it out of bounds. He can't, you know, he's trying to right now get away from the defense. At this point, you're not going to. Your best bet is to try and throw it at that point and do a little halfback pass. But nonetheless, there goes the safety.
Bryson Eppinger from Warren Township High School in Gurnee making that play. And so 2 points on the West side of the scoreboard now in the final 17 seconds of this third quarter. And what a big play that is. Here we were thinking that the East was just one play away from running out this third quarter clock, and instead the West not only gets the points but gets the football back on a free kick coming here.
And now they're within one score. You know, they don't have to go for two. They almost get a free points on the board there. Now a touchdown can tie this ball game up for them. So we've seen what people might describe as some sloppy play here as the wave continues in the stands. But we talked about special teams, but special plays, you know, you take advantage of the moment, and there you go. Now the West team is in business.
The official paint store for the Shriners All-Star Game. MediaCom, which will be
we'll see who lines up here to make the kick for the East. It could be Nick Williams. It might be Mike Bray. Well, the punter has been Damian Reed. He was the one that tried to do everything he could to prevent that snapped punt from being troublesome.
The other thing, too, you want to get some distance on this kick.
Yeah, it's going to be, actually, it's going to be Austin Chauncey, who is warming up with some good kicks here. This is Robbins. He fields it. He's still on his feet. He dances across the 35 before he's finally brought down about the 36. We've got 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The West with an opportunity now to have very good field position to begin this drive.
And maybe a little bit too much dancing there, trying to, you know, shape up the blockers coming in. I shouldn't say the blockers, the tacklers coming his way. Need to follow your blocks on that play. You know, you need to follow your blocks and, you know, find that crease and get through. Too much dancing allows the defense to really cave in on you, target you on the field.
First and 10 from the 37. Richie hands, inside handoff, not much there. Met at the line of the scrimmage, Jesse Setzer from Porta High School, who had a monster senior year. His first carry of the game, and that is our final play of this third quarter. 15 minutes to play here in the 40th annual Illinois Shriners All-Star Game. East 21, West 14. Back with the final quarter. In a moment, you're watching the Shriners game on MC 22.
Today, all around us, a terrible thing is happening. Something precious is being taken away. Childhood. Orthopedic conditions, spinal injuries, burns, and cleft lip and palates can rob children of their happiest days and severely limit their potential. But something good is also happening. Today, at any of the 22 Shriners Hospitals for Children care facilities, specialists and volunteers are at work, caring, mending, researching new ways to give children a brighter future, regardless of their family's ability to pay. It takes the greatest medical skills that set global standards in pediatric care. But true healing takes something else too, something extra special. Love. Love puts every child first. Love drives medical breakthroughs. Love makes a hospital feel like home. It's why volunteers give millions of hours. It transports families door to door. It rebuilds a child's confidence. It helps them face their first day back at school. And it keeps healing until they're grown up. At Shriners Hospitals for Children, love comes to the rescue every day. And last year alone, it helped give over 120,000 childhoods back. I was one of the children helped by Shriners Hospitals. It was the acts of love and their care that made the difference to my healing. I owe my life to them. If you know a child they could help, contact Shriners Hospitals for Children at 1-800-237-5055. To send your love to the rescue by making a donation, please call 1-800-241-GIFT or visit us at shrinershospitals.org.
Second and 10, our first play of the fourth quarter. Ritchie throwing downfield into double coverage, and it is intercepted. The East defense was prepared for that long pass, and waiting for it on the other end was Gino Quaid, the Lake Forest defensive back who makes a big defensive play here.
Yeah, he's basically playing center field on this play, Kurt, and watch the deep ball here into double coverage. Probably not the selection you want from your quarterback, and everyone going for the ball, and he's able to pull away and snatch that ball for the INT. So just like that, another turnover in this contest as the teammates high-five each other, give each other a little dap. And now the East All-Stars go back to business, up 7 points in this fourth quarter.
West going for the home run ball there, but an interception, and now the East has it as we've just opened this fourth quarter of action. So the red-clad East team with the football and this 21-14 advantage. Dobbs from Urbana makes the catch. Short gain. Ball is ripped out of his hands, but they're going to blow the whistle before the play. And so it's going to be a slight gain, maybe 3. They'll call it 2nd and 7 and mark the ball about the 27.
And those are the drawbacks to trying to fight for those few extra inches, those few extra yards. You allow yourself to be vulnerable to someone coming in and stripping the ball away. Fortunate for the East All-Stars, that was not the case on that play. So now 2nd and 6, and you know, with the clock in your favor right now, you're up 7 points. Do you want to be conservative with your offensive play call, or do you want to try and go for the jugular and go for the home run here and put yourself up a couple of scores?
2nd and 6, Corey out of the shotgun. Reverse. Dobbs has a lot of real estate in front of him. He gets a block from his quarterback, spins for the first down. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
And what made that play work, that was the right call, because the West All-Stars came from the left side where you call that reverse to go the other way against the flow of the defense, and he's able to get the easy first down and pick up some extra yardage after that as well.
James Cobbs just turning the engine on here. And look at the quarterback, Corey, go out and make a block.
I tell you what, he likes the physical contact. As we mentioned, he was coming here to play defensive back, and now he's playing quarterback.
Good wrap up there from the West defense, jumping in and making a nice hit there was Colton Jansen, who was the man that was just blocked by the quarterback on that reverse play.
Yeah, you don't like when the quarterback, beats you to the play and gets a good block on you. But I tell you what, Thomas Jones twisted and turning, picking up a couple of yards. And you know what? This is right where the the East wants to be. Running the ball, clock is moving, everything is, just running smooth. And you just want to keep the ball moving towards the end zone.
Gain of 2 on that play, 2nd down and 8. Corey bobbled it. Throws it in the flat to the far sideline. The pass is caught. That's going to be a short gain again. That's Thomas Jones from Solorio High School that makes that play.
But the thing that made that work for the extra yardage, did you see the defender on that play? He had him on skates with that little quick pivot and then cut back inside on him. He made him turn his shoulders, and that's a big no-no when you're on defense. When the offensive guy makes you turn like that, you know you're in no man's land. It's like a Bears safety at that point.
Big 3rd down play here. 3rd and 4. The ball near midfield at the East 48-yard line.
Alex Corey calling out instructions as they go 4 wide, 3 stacked on the right side.
Boy, there was a little bit of penetration there, but not much. Somebody lost a helmet. Maybe a 1-yard gain. That's going to bring up 4th down. Again, getting that call is Jones for a minimal gain. And again, East is going to be faced with a 4th down decision here.
And once again, they tried to spread them out, as I mentioned, 3 receivers to the right side, but the East, they have some pretty big bodies up front. You know, that's a lot of meat up there on the defensive line, and so that's why it's really not that big of a crease for, you know, the East running backs to try and get through.
No risk taken here. It's going to be the punt unit out. Kick is away, and it's a good one. It's kicked out of bounds. Let's see where they spot that one. Maybe about the 20? Indeed. No, maybe not. At the 25. So the West will take over at its own 25-yard line. At 8:27 to go here, 4th quarter.
So now, after the last turnover on the interception, maybe it's a little different approach on this drive. You got plenty of time. You got timeouts, and what you want to do is just kind of pick things up in chunks. Keep moving towards that end zone because there's a lot of time left in this game to be played.
Each team with its full allotment of timeouts, 3 apiece, in our final 8 minutes and 27 seconds. And it's Lewistown's Colton Johnson back on the field for the West. That's him throwing to the sidelines, and a diving catch, nicely done. Laying out and making that play is Micah Smith, who already has a touchdown reception here tonight. Well done. That's a short gain, but a tremendous catch.
And that's a tough play to try to defend. You got the outside wide receiver running a little quick in. You know, he goes 4 or 5 yards out and then slants in. You've got the inside wide receiver, kind of a quick slant out. So for a defender, it's really hard to try and stop that.
Johnson just dumps it off that time. No going anywhere. Robbins was wrapped up in the backfield. A nice open field tackle there made by Caleb Wilson, who's played a nice game. The Tri-Valley graduate, who's maybe known for his offense, taking his team to the state runner-up trophy this year in Class 1A, but he's played a whale of a game defensively tonight.
Yeah, you know what, and one thing about this is it's now 3rd and 7. The East defense is really taking all the deep threats away. They're making the West throw underneath for those short gains.
And on 3rd and 7, it's a 4-receiver set now for the West as Johnson looks to the sidelines to get the play, and out of the shotgun, he's looking downfield and he throws it far sidelines, incomplete. He was going for Casey Danley, and about a half a step too far for the Washington High School graduate.
And I tell you what, I like the play call because he had one-on-one at first, but I think if Johnson maybe would have thrown a little pump fake in there, you get the safety to kind of bite, and then you have 3 wide receivers on the other side, and you could pick your poison with one-on-one because the safety was able to come over the top and provide some help to really make sure that Casey wasn't able to catch that ball.
So the East defense answers and holds, and now Danley is going to come back after the incompletion and assume his position as the team's punter. At the 7:13 mark, he's going to take the snap about his 12-yard line. Kick is away, and that is also going to be out of bounds.
Probably right at about the 50-yard line. So great field position for the East.
That's going to be inside. It's going to be marked at the 45-yard line. So a short punt, and the East will have a short field here as it will take over at the 45-yard line at the 7:08 mark left here, 4th quarter.
And once again, it's going to be up to the West defense to keep the East offense on ice here, keep them on hold, and not allow them to move the ball towards the end zone. You got to get the ball back and try and get your offense to move the ball down the field.
We've had so much fun here tonight. Emma Frick, the princess from Belleville, and Alec Kabakungen from Chicago was the prince out there for the coin toss, and they're still down having a good time alongside those cheerleaders. And we're in line for hopefully a terrific fourth quarter finish here. Play
I think
action
I'm going to
fake.
hang out with Alec one of these days.
Yeah, he's terrific. Nice one-handed catch. It was a good pass from Corey, and it was corralled with one hand by Damian Reed from Anna Jonesboro, and he's got first down yardage.
And we've called this name a few times. As you see Alec there
He is.
rolling around. He had his sunglasses on earlier. He had his crown on. If you want to meet someone that can just put a smile on your face, he's one of those people in this world that can do that. What a tremendous honor for me, and I know you, Kurt, to meet him today.
Absolutely.
What is he, 12?
He's 12.
12 going on 40.
Maybe, yeah. He knows a lot about sports, and he's having a good time. Glad that we had an opportunity to visit with him before the game.
He told me he was better looking than me, and I really couldn't disagree with him.
There's a breakthrough again. Big run. Ripping through the defense is Damian Reed with a first down yardage and more. Huge run. Great offensive line work here again. A gigantic hole.
And the workhorse from A.J. getting to that second level, as you mentioned. Once you get past that hole, you can see a little daylight and you can move around a little bit, get the first down, and now look at the East. Knocking on the door for more points against the West defense. They're going to have to hunker down here, and they want to keep this game close.
First down now. Oh, that's not going anywhere. Boy, that was a big hit in the backfield. That was going to be Mike Bray trying to make something happen, but Chris Neild of Mercer County said, nuh-uh, not on my watch.
No, he saw that play developing, and that's what you like right there, the wrap-up. You know, that you're not trying to go for the big boom hit and maybe miss a tackle. That's a wrap-up textbook tackle. Look at that right there. He drives through. Coaches at practice would be proud of that right there. Is watch again. Wraps him up and then drives him backward. You know, he doesn't let him dictate the pace. He drives through that tackle. That is textbook for all you young players out there.
Part of some great Mercer County teams these last couple of years. State-ranked playoff teams.
Seems like every year they've been state-ranked and playoff bound.
Under 5.5 minutes to go now. Loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 12. This is going to be the option. This is going to be Reed coming to the near side. Hurdles over a would-be tackler. He's going to be down. Great athletic play here by Damian Reed as he just jumped right over this would-be tackler.
And I think this is a great call by the referee. Watch as he jumps. The ball comes out, but after he was down for contact. So that's a good play, a good call right there, by the ref. But man, oh man, it's nice on film when you hurdle like that, but you can also get yourself hurt like that. You want to keep yourself low to the ground. Don't try it at home. It looks good on TV, though.
Damian Reed is headed to McKendree. You mentioned of the McKendree recruits here. 16 touchdowns as a senior. He rushed for better than 1,400 yards and showing off his athleticism on that play.
And one of those guys that came out of a tough conference, those teams down there in the South 7 in Southern Illinois, they really are a bunch to deal with.
Tough snap. Corey did everything he could do to try to corral that. And did he lose the ball or did he come down with it? He may have lost the football. He did, and the West has come away with a big fumble recovery.
Wow, they are able to hang on just when the storm clouds are rolling through. The West is able to come through with a big play and get the ball back in their possession. Here's the replay, another high snap. We've seen a few of those today, and I don't know, Kurt, was the knee down on that before the ball came out? It's kind of tough to see up here.
A gigantic play for the West defense, right in the thick of that Mitchell Temperley from Lena Winslow.
Another thing, too, maybe the ball was moving, shifting a little bit, so he never really had possession of it, but nonetheless, possession now to the West.
Alex Corey could not corral it, so now the West has it 4:18 and counting left, incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10. And they're going to have to go 75 yards to score and then worry about the point after to see what kind of finish we're going to have here.
So what do you know? Some late game dramatics taking place in this contest. West has got to get some momentum going on offense. They've really just been stale the last couple of drives.
How big is that safety now, huh?
Huge.
This is Billy Ritchie out of the shotgun, near sidelines. The pass is complete. That's Chandler Dobbs from South Beloit. Before he's wrapped up across the 30, they'll mark the ball about the 33, and the clock continues as we approach the 4-minute mark left in this one.
And pretty interesting, you mentioned that Billy Ritchie now is in that quarterback. You know, Johnson has showed that he has maybe more of a cannon, but Ritchie might be the guy to lead them down the field. You got to be a game manager in this point in the contest. As you see the replay, he's able to get the ball out, allow his receiver on the slant route to get the ball, and then Chandler Dobbs has something to do with the ball. He can make a move here and there, maybe make a defender miss.
Big third down play here. 3rd and 2 for the West. And they got a first down.
And that's just the big boys up front. You got to credit the offensive line there. I mean, Kurt, you probably could have driven your car through that hole right there.
Evan White, who has been a workhorse here tonight, the Rochelle graduate with first down yardage. And the clock is stopped momentarily as they move those chains and starts back up.
Brad Mischke, Quentin Brown, some of those big boys on the front line. Sawyer McCaffrey out of Warner Township.
First down, it's going to be White again, across the line of scrimmage, and ahead for about 4 as we approach the 3-minute mark left in this one.
Mitchell Endress also walking around out there from Ottawa Marquette, number 61. Tell you what, the West All-Stars, they've got some big boys on that line able to create some holes. I hope they keep attacking that, because right now that's their best course of action of moving the ball.
2nd and 5 from the 45. And still running the football. That's going to be Micah Smith from Anna and Weathersfield with a short gain. That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
You know, you like the fact that they're running the ball, but as we mentioned, that clock is ticking. So at some point, you're going to have to start going to the aerial attack. Maybe you can go with a little dual quarterback action in the backfield.
3rd down, 3. 3 running backs. White's going to get the call. I don't think he's going to be close to first down yardage. He's going to be stopped a couple of yards short.
No, and that's a credit to the East defense. They were all on that. And here's the thing. When you have a set like that and you've got 3 running backs in the backfield and a kind of a twin set, you know what to expect. So you can kind of bring guys in the line able to clog those holes, and that's exactly what the East All-Stars were able to do.
All right, let's step aside here. 2:12 to go in the 4th quarter. 21-14, East leads West. Back with more from the Shriners game in a minute. You're watching it here on MC 22. So here we go, 2:12 to go in the 4th quarter. 4th down and 3. The West with the football at its own 47-yard line. 5 receivers out. Ritchie throws, it's caught, a spin move. It's Danley, but he can't get to the first down marker, and the East is going to take over.
Yeah, I think he spent the wrong way, Kurt. I think his best bet would have been able to try and dive across, get the ball, or at least the nose of the ball on that 50-yard line. I see what he was trying to do and make a football play, but his foot touched the 50, but then you make that football spin back, and that cost you the first down right there. Had he just fell forward, leaned forward, you know, extend the ball out, he would have broken the play and gotten that first down. You got to get down at that point, know where your first down marker is at.
Good pursuit from the East defense. And now that East defense is counting on the East offense to run the clock out with 2:06 remaining. The West, by the way, has 2 timeouts remaining. And in victory formation now is the East. Got a flag.
Boy, oh boy. You think it'd be easy, but easier said than done at this point.
All right, so it's going to be 1st and 15. False start, a 5-yard penalty against the East. 2:05 remaining. And a direct snap. Kyle Kirkpatrick, again, the Civic Memorial High School grad, is back there at quarterback. You've really got to tip your cap to what the East squad did. Again, Alex Corey, the Maine East grad who missed 90% of last year as the quarterback, hurting his knee in the first game of the season and not able to return until week 9, being pressed into quarterback action here tonight when he thought he was going to be a defensive back. And this is Kirkpatrick, who's being counted on to be the 2nd-string quarterback tonight. Again, he came here thinking he was just going to be a safety. And now this team is 1:56 away from winning the Shriners All-Star game.
Pretty remarkable what they've been able to accomplish. I mean, these guys, you come here and you've been playing defensive back or, out of position or playing your regular position, and now you're playing out of position in an all-star game, and to be able to perform, that just shows that, they're not just, one position type players. These are football players out there.
Yeah, obviously guys with quarterbacking in their blood, and they were, as seniors in high school coming into the game, however, they really thought they were going to be playing defense. And Alex Corey now has completely recovered from that knee surgery and is expected to compete for the quarterback's position at North Central College. But right now, Matt Martin, the Edwardsville head coach, who is the head coach of the East, is trying to coach his team up. He played in this game in 1990. He was an assistant coach in this game in 2007. He said he came here to win. And as we said, he's about 2 minutes away from doing that if he can run this clock out.
What does that say for a kid like Alex Corey's confidence? The fact that he hasn't played quarterback in quite some time at a competitive level, let alone, Kurt, an all-star game, and is 2 minutes and 1 second away from walking away with a W. I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah, he's got it in his blood. He played for his father, so you know that it was in that household for a long, long, long time. This is Kirkpatrick again. The near sidelines, he's trying to cover up that ball, stay in bounds. He got to about midfield before his forward progress was pushed back. And the clock continues to march towards triple zeros.
So at this pace, if you're the West All-Stars, you get a stop right here. You'll probably get the ball, about 45 seconds left to go in this contest if they were able to punt away. So it's kind of game management because you want to keep that time out if you have a chance to move the ball down the field. I would have to think if they get the ball back, Colton Johnson has got to be in under center with his arm and his ability to throw the ball down the field.
And now the East has its first second half timeout at the 1:13 mark. 21-14. The East trying to hang on to this Shriners game over the West.
And we've seen a little bit of everything. I mean, there's been some miscues in this game. We've seen special teams come into play. But also, Kurt, the offenses, come to play, but the defenses. I mean, we've seen, teams get, in the red zone and then been turned away. So I think from all different sides of the ball game, you've seen different phases show up at different points in this contest. I mean, it's been pretty remarkable. We've seen, returns, just everything. I mean, whatever you want, there's been a little mix of everything, a little bit of medley, so to speak, in this contest from both sides. And, it's truly remarkable to kind of cap this week, this Illinois Shrine Game week for these players, just to come out here and give it your all and have a competitive game. A minute 16 left to go. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, the officials have added a few seconds on the clock. So there's now 1 minute and 16 seconds to go. They make that clock adjustment here. Again, the East is facing a 3rd down and 12 from its 49-yard line. And you got to think that even if they don't get a first down here, the West is going to get that football back again. How much time is left is going to be the key question. Now, a first down here is going to end the ball game if the East can convert on this 3rd and 12. Corey is back in the game now. And they reverse it. This is Cobbs.
Block and key here.
How about that call on 3rd and 12? He gets about 4 yards, and now a timeout is called by the West. And so it's going to be a 4th down and about 8. Here's that reverse call again. This is a gutsy call on 3rd and 12.
But here's the thing. They've seen this play already. So watch the pursuit. They already had 2 defenders over there, but look at everyone ball hawk to the ball. I mean, Lovie Smith would be clapping his hands at this point. I mean, this is what you want to see from your defense. They learned the first time from that play. That went for, 12, 14 yards the first time they saw it. Now they stop it to 4, and they're going to get the ball back with plenty of time remaining in this game. So a lot to talk about because not only do you want to, tell your team, hey, let's just make sure we get the ball back and we're able to give our offense an opportunity to go down the field. But you want to be talking to the offense as well, because you want to at least have 1 or 2 plays already scripted, something in the back pocket where as you get a first down, you can get to the line real quick and snap the next play. So a lot of things from the coaching sidelines comes into play with these few seconds left in the contest.
The punt unit now is on the field for the East. Damian Reed from Anna Jonesboro is back.
I think they're going to go for the block on this one.
Yeah,
Kurt.
there's no receiver back, so they're indeed going for the block. And the kick gets away. Nicely done by Reed. It's an empty backfield, so look at that kick. That kick is going to roll out of bounds at the 1-yard line or the 2. Wow, what a kick by Reed. Terrific.
And you know what? The referees kind of kept the flags in the pocket. There was a little contact with the kicker on that play, but they let it go. And what a remarkable kick, as you mentioned, inside the 5 on what, the 2-yard line it looks like. So you're going to have to go 98 yards to try and tie this ball game up.
In 58 seconds with just 1 timeout.
Ay, ay, ay. It's almost like a state championship on the line right here. It's state bragging rights, I guess, at this point.
Here's another look. Athletic play to take that low snap.
They bought the house, and look, there's a little bit of contact right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to call that, you know, running into the kicker.
I think that's a good call, a good non-call.
Yeah, you let the players decide this game at this point.
Absolutely.
Now, if this was a IHSA-sanctioned contest, you might have some words from the coach at this point.
Well, a tremendous special teams play by Anna Jonesboro's Damian Reed to kick the ball out of bounds inside the 5. And so from his own end zone, this is Ritchie scrambling and throwing it away.
Smart play right there.
Actually, I'm sorry, that's not Ritchie. That's Colton Johnson who's in there.
I think the East All-Stars wanted a safety call.
That was all kinds of Brendan Moniker, who's been all over that West backfield, is again causing trouble in the end zone. He's had a terrific game defensively, the Monticello grad.
Right now, the West needs to get some breathing room. They need a first down here so they can really allow Johnson to go to work in the back.
2nd and 10. Screen pass, incomplete. Pass went right through the hands of the intended receiver, Chandler Dobbs, and that's going to bring up 3rd down.
A little high, and when you're running that slant, Kurt, you more or less want the ball right at your armpit. That way you can catch it in stride and keep going. And if it's that high, you have to, you know, do too many things. You're trying to, you know, see where you're going to go next. But if you have to stop and jump and grab the ball, a lot can go wrong. And we saw there the ball goes through the hands. Still should have been caught. But, again, textbook, you want to hit him right in the armpit so he can catch it in stride.
3rd and 10. Johnson downfield, overshoots his intended receiver. That is incomplete. Threw it into double coverage. Casey Danley, the intended receiver, but with a safety and a cornerback back there, that was going to be difficult to make that completion.
And the East All-Stars, I mean, they know that the West is going to try and, you know, throw the deep ball to try and beat them down the field. So that's why you're seeing the safety stay back. They know Colton Johnson has the arm to beat him, so take away the long, deep throws, make him go underneath. They haven't been able to establish that underneath stuff yet. You know, it's either been short gains or balls that have been dropped.
This is it, 4th down. Johnson with time. Near sidelines. Pass is caught. That's a completion, and that is a 1st down. It was Micah Smith that came down with it. And now we've got a little scramble for the ball, but the clock continues. The clock is now stopped at 37 seconds. So a 4th down conversion and a 1st down now for the West, quickly to the line of scrimmage.
Now, do you call a play? Do you spike it? What do you do? I guess they're going to go with the play here.
Yeah, with the clock
tick,
running.
tick, tick.
Johnson with the pump fake, looking downfield, throwing downfield. He's got White, but he's underthrown, and it was nearly intercepted. Back in coverage was Chaucey, Austin Chaucey from Nokomis, who nearly came up with a pick.
And that's one of the few times we've seen him underthrow the ball. Had he thrown him in stride, I think he would have had him, Kurt. I mean, that was a remarkable play right there. Let's see the replay. As you see, the ball is lofted pretty good, but that ball underthrown, you know, Evan White had to come back to the play. Had he thrown him in stride, White had his defender beat.
2nd and 10, 22 seconds left here in regulation from their 18-yard line. This is the West. That's White, and can he get out of bounds? He did. He made the completion, and he stepped out of bounds, and that will stop the clock with 16 seconds to go. Still a long way to go to get to the end zone.
And for Colton Johnson right now, the problem is you're trying to throw into a cover 3. It's one thing to throw into a cover 3 when you're playing high school ball, but when you're playing in an all-star game and you have 3 talented athletes back there playing safety, it's hard to pick and choose who you want to attack. And right now, they're really limiting his window as far as the deep ball is concerned. Maybe the underneath middle throw is probably the way to go since you still have a timeout.
There's a whistle on this play before the snap.
That's a false start, so you're moving in the wrong direction. But again, Kurt, like I said, they're taking away that deep ball. So maybe you throw the middle route, you try and get as much yardage as you can, call your timeout, and then try and work your sidelines the rest of the way down the field, because right now you're only standing with 15 seconds left. You at least want to get to the 50 and try and give yourself a chance, or maybe a Hail Mary or something along those lines. And that's me assuming that Johnson can Hail Mary it from the 50-yard line. I think with his arm he should be able to do that.
Well, East head coach Matt Martin thought that this game was excellent preparation for college, an excellent opportunity for his players to make friends, and now he's got an excellent chance to leave the field with a victory. 3rd and 12, and Johnson across the middle, intended for White. It's caught, and he spins, and he's got some room across midfield, down the middle of the field with 6 seconds to go, and the West calls timeout. Nicely done. So Evan White with a big play here on the reception from the pass from Colton Johnson.
And just like I said, try over the middle. There should be a hole there. He does that. He makes the defender slip. And then at this point, he takes it right back up the gut and gets, what, an extra 20, 25 yards there. Myself, I was thinking, get out of bounds, get out of bounds. But then he doesn't. And now you're going to get an extra 5 yards, it looks like, if it's encroachment on defense.
It looked like John Timmerman from Bree Central, who's had a tremendous defensive game, jumped off sides. If that's the case, it'll be 5 yards closer for the West. They'll move the ball from the 34 to the 29. For all intents and purposes, unless there's a penalty, this should be the final play of the game.
So they're still trying to decide what the call is, it appears. And it looks like it is false start on
against the offense.
West.
So Timmerman was drawn off sides.
So now they ran 3 seconds off the clock on the play. Was it false start before the snap? Should it go back to 6 seconds is the question. By the way, as you mentioned, it's going to be the last play of the game.
This is going to be it, regardless if there's 3 seconds or 6 seconds on there. Ball at the 39-yard line, and the West needs 7 points to tie. Johnson looking, throwing, and it's caught, but we've got a penalty flag down.
Oh, wow.
It was caught on the play by Micah Smith inside the 10-yard line, and we've got a flag on the play.
Was he touched when he went down? That'll be the thing to see on the replay. Was he touched when he made the catch? I know he was hit before the catch, but as he went down, I was looking to see if a defender put 2 hands on him. I'm not sure.
Johnson threw that ball into traffic, and initially it looked like it could be intercepted.
Oh, are they going to call offensive pass interference? Pointing that way towards the West All-Stars.
Well, Austin Chaucey was down there from a defensive standpoint for the East, but it wasn't Chaucey that came up with it. Obviously, it was Micah Smith.
Still not sure what the call is.
It's defensive pass interference.
So, 15-yard penalty, okay. Now here's...
See, there's Chaucey and
he
Smith
makes the catch. Did anyone touch him after he made the catch? My point is no. Because he got bumped before the catch.
Well, if they're playing high school rules, though, they're down on the field. So.
Right. That's true. Good point. But then again, I would decline that penalty and take it where he caught the ball at.
Well, here we go. Hey, we started this game 2.5 hours ago, and we're going to play to the final whistle to determine this one. 21-14, East leading West in this 40th Illinois Shriners All-Star game. The West attempting to tie this game or perhaps win it with a 2-point conversion if they can get in the end zone. This is the game's final play, barring a penalty. Johnson steps inside, throws over the middle. This time it's intercepted, and that's the ball game. Stepping up and making the play defensively is Noah Frericks, who made a big play on special teams with a punt return and seals the deal for the West with an interception on the game's final play, and the West beats the East 21-14.
I tell you what, we had a heart stopper there, Kurt. I mean, what an amazing game. Give you up for both teams, the East and the West. I'm sure the West All-Stars would have liked the result to come in their favor, but nonetheless, what a remarkable game between these two teams, and what a remarkable week for all the players involved in this one. I mean, they gave the fans their money's worth in this Shrine All-Star game.
Both teams shake hands at midfield. East 21, West 14. Back to wrap things up from the Illinois Shriners game in a minute. You're watching the 40th annual Shriners All-Star game on MC 22.
Brendan and I have a lot in common. We love racing and we like to go fast. But Brendan and I have more than just our sport in common. We are both Shriners Hospitals for Children's biggest fans.
Shriners Hospitals for Children helped me get back on the track.
Brendan had an accident when he was 7, but thanks to the care at Shriners Hospitals, he is back in the race.
Shriners Hospitals for Children brings love to the rescue to children regardless of the family's ability to pay. Visit shrinershospitalsforchildren.org.
Thrilling finish here at the Shriners All-Star game. The East beats the West 21-14, sealing the deal on a final play interception. And what a way to finish this 40th annual All-Star game played for the benefit of the Shriners Hospital. Kurt Pegler alongside Donnie Tillman. Whew, take a deep breath. Good ball game, huh?
I tell you what, it all started off with the pregame ceremonies, and you know what? The action never stopped. We had back and forth between the East and the West, and that's what we want, Kurt, and we got that. And I think the fans go home happy, the players go home happy, and everyone had a successful week.
For my broadcast partner, Donnie Tillman, I'm Kurt Pegler. 21-14, the East beats the West in the Shriners game, and good night from Bloomington, Illinois.